All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community in Dragon football. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
It's been said the night is always darkest just before the dawn. Maybe you can relate right now. But make no mistake about it, a new day is dawning. Opportunity and promise are on the horizon for all of us. And just like in high school sports, we'll trust honesty, empathy, hard work, and humility to bring out the best in us and show us the way. The IHSAA will look for you at a high school game or meet very soon.
It's time for Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com. Dragon Football is brought to you by All-Star Turf Management, D&D Strictly Storage, Best in Sight Family Eye Care, PorkVet Solutions, Real Life Church, Catch the Shot Photography, Gator Grip, and the Hoosier Huddle. Now let's head to the field and join Mike Jackson and Andrew Smith with all of tonight's exciting play-by-play.
New Palestine Dragons football is on the air from Kelso Stadium in New Palestine, Indiana. It's time for tonight's Class 5A Sectional 14 game between the number 5 New Palestine Dragons, ranked, as we mentioned, number 5, 7-1 on the season, and the Franklin Grizzly Cubs, who come in with a record of 3-5. It is time, before we begin, for our national anthem. Let's send it down to the field. And that is our national anthem tonight at Kelso Stadium. Along with Mike Jackson, I'm Andrew Smith, welcoming you to this sectional game. And, of course, Mike, the Dragons defending back-to-back state championships. It's a much different team, as we've kind of chronicled throughout the year, but always kind of an exciting time when you're playing to earn the opportunity to play one more football game next week. And this Dragon team finished the regular season really well a couple weeks ago with a big win over Delta.
Yeah, they did a nice job both offensively and defensively against one of the better teams in the conference. And, you got to like the way that they produced for Coach Ralph in their last regular season game. And, I think we struggled a little bit offensively but came out and really did a nice job in the second half. And I would imagine that the Dragons want to get off to a pretty quick start here tonight.
And that's something that the Dragons have done the last couple of weeks is they've scored on their first drive. And how important is that to be able to get off to a good start, especially against a team like Franklin that puts up a lot of points?
Yeah, this squad, they've been racking it up all year long. I was checking out their stats, and the games that they've lost the last 3 weeks, they've lost 39-30, 48-37, but in the last week 41-7. But they have been throwing up points all year long. 63 points against Shelbyville, 35 against Perry, and lost to a great Whiteland team, 45-21. But these guys, they look like to be a balanced team. They run the ball up pretty well. They got about a 900-yard rusher, and their passer is equally as good.
And so that's something we see out of this Franklin team. And the Dragons, I think one thing we've seen is that early in the season, they really struggled to get the running game on track. The last 4 weeks, Grayson Thomas has run it for 100-plus yards, and they've been able to move the ball fairly effectively because they've been able to get the running game going.
Yeah, and they've had some injuries on that offensive line that coaches chronicled a little bit throughout the year. And I think Ethan Sturgeon is out again tonight. I think I saw him in a walking boot, which is going to hurt the line. But they've probably had all week to prepare for that. And I think last week we had some issue, or 2 weeks ago had issues with the snaps when they had to sub him out after his injury. And hopefully they've got those things ironed out, and we'll be able to be more consistent up front.
Franklin won the toss, and the Grizzly Cubs have elected to defer to the second half. So the Dragons will get the football to begin. It is a cold night at Kelso Stadium. Temperatures will dive into the 30s. Very little, if any, wind. And so the conditions, other than cold, will not really play an impact, which is often not the case in sectional play, as you often have some really raw weather. But a chilly night for this contest. Franklin will move from right to left as you envision this field in your mind's eye, wearing white uniforms, white pants, black helmets with no logo on them, and blue numbers trimmed in black. The Dragons in all red with white helmets, white numbers, and white trim. Nick Woods has the ball teed up on the 40-yard line for the Grizzly Cubs. Caleb Byers back deep to return for the Dragons. It's an onside kick. It's bounding around and picked up by Franklin. And it was a surprise onside kick that went right at one of the Dragons, and he bobbled it, and Tyler Fouquet recovers for Franklin. And the Grizzly Cubs will start at the Dragons' 47-yard line. And right away, a little bit of a trick play, which you always get in tournament action, and Franklin's going to start this game with a football.
Yeah, that's definitely caught us off guard as well, as we're expected the ball to be kicked away, and boom, Franklin takes advantage, winning the toss and are able to get an extra possession.
And so this Grizzly Cub offense will begin. Reed Roberts is the quarterback. He is a 5'11", 174-pound senior, lines up with a 3-receiver spread, twins to the right, and 1 receiver left is Max Lancer. Twin backs on either side of Roberts, gets a high snap, play action fake, back to throw. Has all kinds of time. Throws over the middle, it's incomplete.
Ooh.
Aiden Ewers providing the coverage as Isaiah Klein was the intended receiver at about the 35-yard line of New Palestine, but it's incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, if they're going to throw the ball around like that, we got to hope that Aiden Ewers is up to the task tonight. He's, that all-state defensive back, and I'm sure he's looking to have fun tonight.
This time the give is to the first man through, Jalen Ward, and he pops through a big hole for 7 yards to the 40-yard line before he's brought down by Richard Clevenger. It'll be third down and 3 for Franklin. Grizzly Cubs right back to the line, twins in an H-back right, give to Ward again. This time he's
nice
tripped
job.
up. Coming in to bring him down was Aiden Ewers blitzing in from that outside linebacker hybrid type player. Ward gets about a half a yard on the play to the 39. It'll be 4th and 2.
Yeah, the Dragons were able to do that defensively a couple of weeks ago, trailing the play and making big plays in the backfield.
Quick snap.
Oh, read it,
Here's
baby.
A toss to Ward. He's not going to get there. Richard Clevenger, one of the guys over there. Hunter Burks brought him down for a loss. Back to the 41-yard line. They tried a toss sweep to the near side. The Dragons all over it. Drop Ward for a 2-yard loss. And so Franklin, after recovering the onside kick to start the game, turns it over on downs.
It's a huge defensive stop by the Dragons here to start the game. They got you back on your heels immediately with the onside kick, and defense comes in and gives up one big gainer and then makes 2 big plays for the stop.
Dragons with a new look as Lincoln Roth has twin backs beside him and one behind him. So the inverted diamond, and now they're going to move into a more traditional formation.
Austin lines up as a slot to the left, Brown and H-back to the right, and they give
Look at
Thomas
that.
up the middle. He gets a nice push from the right side of the line, and Grayson Thomas runs for 4 yards to the 44. It'll be second down and make it 3. It'll be second down and 7.
Second down, Dragons.
Yeah, Trey Keel in that center position. They ran right behind his butt on that play, and that was nice to see him getting out and getting into it tonight.
Franklin in a 4-3 defense. Dragons with trips to the left.
Look at
Give
that
to
push.
Thomas, has a little bit of a push again, puts his head down, and drives his man to the 49-yard line before Greg Houston brings him down. That's a gain of 5 for Thomas. We'll bring up third down and 2.
Third down.
Yeah, that was Noah Mack and Ethan Sturgeon. A nice combo block on that right tackle defensively for Franklin. Nice push.
Trips left, one receiver right is Caleb Byers on 3rd and 2. Franklin with a 4-man defensive front, but the linebackers look like they want to blitz as well, and they're in tight. 10 minutes to go, scoreless first quarter. Roth takes the shotgun snap, fakes, keeps it himself, has a hole across the 50-yard line, across the 45, into Grizzly Cub territory to the 44-yard line, brought down by Manny Danso, but it is a gain of 7 and a first down for the Dragons.
You know, the Dragons like something right up the middle here. They've been in business all 3 times on those 3 rushing plays.
So the Dragons now line up again with the inverted diamond formation. And again, Austin and Brown will move out of the backfield as slots to the left. One receiver right is Byers. And Roth fakes, keeps himself, and the Grizzly Cubs, Bo Baker, the safety, was staying home and meets Roth as he was trying to turn it upfield and drops him for a 2-yard gain to the 42. So it'll be second down and 8. Matt Brown, who returned to the lineup after a absence of 3 games last week against Delta, lines up as an H-back to the left, twins to the left. Austin, the inside receiver. Here comes the
Look
blitz.
out.
Quick throw for Brown, and he didn't quite see it. The blitz came late, and Lincoln Roth saw it coming. The blitzer was Grant Roberts, and he just quickly went to his hot read, but Brown hadn't come out of his break yet. Pass was behind him, incomplete.
Yeah, so lucky he got rid of it. Would have been blindsided. What a big loss. Ball might have come out.
Instead, it's 3rd and 8 from the 42. Matt Brown will now line up as an H-back to the right. Byers, the receiver right. Twins to the left as well. And here's a give to Thomas. Doesn't find a whole lot of running room and is able to push the pile forward for 3 yards to the 40 before he's dropped by several Grizzly Cubs up the middle. And so first guy in filling the hole was defensive tackle Trenton O'Leary. It'll be 4th down and 6 for the Dragons from the 40 after a 2-yard gain. So the Dragons going to go for it here on 4th down. Trips to the left, one receiver right is Byers.
Got a nice matchup with Brown out there.
Roth takes the snap, looks left, throws left, going
There
up
it
and
is.
making the catch for the first down is Matt Brown at the 31-yard line. He was in a little bit of traffic as he had Greg Houston, the linebacker, on him, but Brown able to turn that into a 9-yard gain and a first down.
Yeah, it looked like a mismatch out there for Brown. He had smaller player. He was playing off the ball, gave him a lot of cushion, so Dragons took advantage of it and get the first down.
That completion gives Lincoln Roth 1,000 passing yards for the season. The lineup, Brown is an H-back. Austin is a slot right. Give to Thomas, tries the right side, has a little bit of a crease, but he's dragged down from behind by Greg Houston for a short gain of about 4 yards.
No, that was Lincoln.
It was Lincoln who was keeping
Yeah.
it.
I thought it was Thomas as well. Had us both faked out.
And that's the one thing, they both carry out the fakes, and it looked like Thomas had a lot of running room. That might explain why. Second down and 6 for the Dragons.
But he was tackled.
He was
which
tackled.
means that was a good fake.
And he was tackled at exactly the same line that Lincoln was tackled at as well. This time,
Pitch.
Lincoln pitches on the option of Blake Austin, gets the corner inside, right to the line of scrimmage, the 27. He was trying to turn the corner, but Franklin was on top of that. Michael Beal brings him down for no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Dragons.
Yeah, they did a nice job of stretching that out, and I thought that the option play might throw them for a little bit of a loop since the Dragons don't do that very often, but they had it defended pretty well.
And that time the Dragons snapped the ball out of the inverted diamond after showing it a few times. Now Hockett and Byers line up to the right. Austin way wide to the left on 3rd down and 6. Roth with a hard count gets Franklin to tip its hand and now looks over to the sideline to get the play. He has Thomas to his left.
And Roth will give it to Grayson, and the hole closes quickly. He's not going to get very much.
Yeah, we missed a block there. That was that was a bad read or something. That the Dragons look like they're trying to take advantage of that kind of a weird offset that they're lining up in. They're kind of leaning heavier to the offensive right and kind of creating a hole to the backside, and we just flat out missed that block.
Jake Houston had the tackle. It's 4th and 5 for the Dragons. Again, the inverted pyramid diamond look. They'll now send Brown and Austin as slots to the left.
Same matchup with Brown here.
4th down, Roth back to throw. Has all kinds of time. Throws over the middle, and he just missed his receiver. Incomplete. He had Blake Austin open in the end zone, but they just could not connect. And so the Dragons, after driving to the 27-yard line of Franklin, turn it over on down. 6:10 to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless, and the Grizzly Cubs will take over at their own 26.
Well, at least we flipped the field a little bit here.
So the Grizzly Cubs take over. 1st and 10. We're scoreless midway through the first quarter. And Roberts fakes. He's in trouble. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run, and he's going to get a first down. Reed Roberts was in all kinds of trouble behind the line of scrimmage, but was able to scramble for 13 yards, 14 yards, and a first down as he goes out of bounds at the 40.
Yeah, really. I thought the Dragons were going to have a big sack on that play, and all of a sudden a rushing lane opens up for him, and he's able to dart around the left side and picked up the first down.
Twins to the right, one receiver left, and now they'll give it to the running back, and he is drilled in the backfield, and here comes the cavalry to bring down John Shepard for a 2-yard loss.
Mr. Johnson, I believe.
It was Johnson and Burks and Clevenger all in there.
Yeah, he read that quickly. Was able to slash through the left offensive side, come up with a big tackle for a loss. Here he comes again.
Dragons show blitz. Roberts on play action, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Lancer went up the elevator shaft at the Dragons' 45-yard line. The pass was in and out of his hands, a little too tall for him. Bryant Nunnally had the coverage for the Dragons. It's 3rd down and 12 for Franklin.
Here we go now, big 3rd down play. Got him in behind the chains.
5.5 minutes to go, scoreless first quarter.
Pass rush has been good, especially the blitz. They're causing him to get rid of the ball quick.
Well, the
once
Dragons,
the play clock reset.
Yeah, had a shoe untied, so we've got a slight delay. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Franklin. It's Maddox Johnson, the free safety, who's attending to his shoe at the 45-yard line, which is where he was defending. Dragons, a couple of changes from the lineup we gave you. A.J. Ryerson is in at the linebacker. Aiden Ewers moves back out to that defensive back alley player position. Yeah, Ryerson, I believe this is his first start of the season. Luke Burgess getting a start at defensive end. He and Nick Bastian and Noah Mack. A lot of beef up front in that 3-man defensive front. They're all in the 3-point stance on 3rd down and 12. Roberts
big time
blitz.
Here we go.
He's buried in the backfield. There are 3 Dragons on top of him, and Noah Mack comes up celebrating. Mack with the sack all the way back at the 28-yard line, and it's punting time for the Grizzly Cubs.
Yeah, that was a jailbreak blitz pass rush basically by the Dragons, and they had 2 blitzers. I think 4 guys were right around the football at the time. Everybody got a piece of that action. It's a party in the backfield. Dragons might be coming after this. Look at that.
And the Dragons got a good rush. The punt is straight up in the air. It drops down at the Dragons' 40 and will roll sideways after spinning down to the 34-yard line. So
yeah, Ewers was untouched. Had a shot at the punt, but he kind of avoided him a little bit by going to his right side, and unfortunately Aiden was just a little bit late getting there.
Grant Roberts was the punter. It was a 38-yarder with no return, and it's a pretty good punt given the Dragons had a really good rush on it, as you mentioned, and it looked like he kicked it straight up in the air, but had a little bit of carry to it. So the Dragons will take over their second possession, their own 34, 4:45 to go, first quarter in a scoreless game. Dragons line up twins to the left, Brown the H-back right. Roth gives to Thomas, and he disappears into the line of scrimmage after a very short gain. 3 Grizzly Cubs on top of him. And so it'll be second down. Trenton O'Leary was one of the first to get up off the pile. It's going to be second down and 9 for the Dragons.
Also, Tyler Fuqua.
Dragons 23 yards rushing on 9 carries so far. 4 receiver spread on second down and 9 from their own 35. Roth back to throw, throws out in the slot, and ball is caught by Blake Austin, and he pushes his way forward for 7 yards to the 42-yard line. That'll make a third down and 2.
It's a nice short pitch and catch. Try to get you in a third down and short situation that helps the playbook call, you know, a little bit easier, make things a little bit easier here.
And for Austin as well, he's moving up the Dragons' all-time receiving list. And we'll get you that information momentarily here. It's third down and 2 for the Dragons. Twins left, Brown the H-back right. And Roth gives to Thomas, puts his head down, and I don't think he got there.
No,
he's going to be a yard short. Now it's decision time. It's fourth down, and it's about a 2/3 of a yard, and that's a full yard. Ball's on the 43. They've got to get it to the 44.
No hesitation here.
They're leaving the offense out there. 3:14 to go. First quarter, scoreless game. Big spot here. The Dragons going for it on 4th and 1 from their own 43-yard line. Roth has twins to the left, 1 receiver right. He fakes, keeps himself, takes it up the middle, and has the first down as he just followed Trey Keel in the middle of that offensive line and carried it for 4 yards to the 47-yard line, and the Dragons move the chains for the second time of the game.
Yeah, with no hesitation up front there by Lincoln, he was able to squeeze through that little bit of hole, and there for a minute I didn't think he had a shot at it, but good push up front, got him 3 yards.
That last catch by Blake Austin, by the way, moved him past Todd Yoder into 6th place in the Dragons' all-time receiving list. This time he gets the carry. Grayson Thomas gets the carry. Blake was in the backfield as the Dragons show a little bit of triple option look, and Grayson carries for 3 yards to the 50-yard line. It'll be second down and 7.
Oh, we can't have this. An offensive lineman getting dinged up.
There aren't.
That was Trey Keel as the center, and he's bouncing around a little bit, but he's not coming off.
Second down and 7 for the Dragons. The lineup trips to the right. Receiver left is Damon Hockett. Lincoln Roth, 2-year starter at quarterback. Hard counts nearly got him to jump, but nobody crossed the line of scrimmage, so still got 5 in the play clock. And Lincoln will take the snap right at the end of the play clock. Steps up, looking deep, and he never got the ball off.
Yeah.
There were 3 Grizzly Cubs on top of him, and Manny Danso gets the sack back at the 44-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss. It'll be third down and 13.
Yeah, and they dodged a bullet there as the Dragons had a wide receiver open down the numbers, completely wide open. And Lincoln just didn't have enough time to set and throw.
Yeah, Lincoln was trying to throw it deep there, but never was able to get the ball off. So.
Yeah, I think he would have had Caleb Byers wide open over here.
Third and long for the Dragons from their own 44. Roth takes the snap, rolling out to the right. Again under pressure. Wants a throwback screen, flushed out of the pocket.
Oh, boy.
He's in trouble, and he is sacked again, back at the 41-yard line. So back-to-back sacks for Franklin, and the Dragons are going to have to punt.
Well, that drive went nowhere fast.
Yeah, it was
got a first down and then 3 quick, horrible plays.
Yeah. So, final minute of the first quarter, and Matt Brown on to punt for the first time in this game. Reed Roberts back deep to return, or make that Grant Roberts back deep to return this inside his own 25. Snap is good. Brown gets off a nice high end-over-end punt.
Go ball.
And Roberts fields at the 20.
Oh,
he breaks contain across the 35, across the 40, down the sideline in Dragon territory, breaks a tackle to the 35.
Well, that was pretty much useless.
And so, yeah, -6 on the net. Jack Johnson with a touchdown-saving tackle, but Franklin is going to take over at the Dragons' 35-yard line, and to add insult to injury, there's an injured Dragon on the field. This team has been absolutely
So
decimated by injuries
is it
this
Jack
season.
Johnson?
That's who it looks like
Yep.
it is.
Looks like 22.
So that punt by Brown was a 29-yard punt. Had a 35-yard return. And Franklin's going to get the ball at the 35-yard line of New Palestine. Their second drive that's going to start in Dragon territory is coaching staff attending to Jack Johnson over on the far side. 12 seconds to go in the opening quarter of a scoreless game between the Dragons and Franklin. And Dragons have had the time of possession advantage. They've snapped the ball 18 times, and Franklin just 7. But
Well, that's a good sign.
yeah, Jack is up, and he's walking off the field under his own power. He made the tackle. It was right a touchdown-saving tackle. Reed Roberts was about to, or make that Grant Roberts was about to cut it back up inside, and he is. And
We had good coverage downfield, but we just ran right by him.
yeah. So, Franklin, 12 seconds to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless, but the Grizzly Cubs have great field position at the Dragons' 35 after the long punt return. We'll send Ward, the running back, in motion, give it to the second man through, and that is John Shepard, and he carries for 5 yards to the Dragons' 30 before Luke Burgess brings him down. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. So, 12 minutes in the books here at Kelso Stadium. The New Palestine Dragons and Franklin Grizzly Cubs are scoreless. We'll take a break, come back right after this. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
Oh, not good.
Back to action in the second quarter, and taking it right up the middle is John Shepard on a quick inside give, and he takes it for 10 yards to the Dragons' 20-yard line on the first play of the quarter, and Franklin has 1st and 10 in the red zone.
Yeah, the Dragons can't afford to give up runs like that. That's 2 straight up the middle for the first down. And they got to that 2nd and 3rd level pretty quick.
1st and 10, Grizzly Cubs from the Dragons' 20. Twin backs on either side of Roberts. Dragons showing blitz. Here they come. Roberts on play action, back to
Get
throw.
to him, baby.
Under pressure, Noah Mack gets him for his 2nd sack of the game. And
Oh, yeah, recovered by
the Dragons are
Franklin.
saying they have the football, but I think Jason Ferguson, our referee, was right on top of the play, says he was down. They're going to mark it back at the 30-yard line. That's a 10-yard loss, 2nd down and 20.
That's huge. Dragons may have to bring pressure just to shut down the pass game or the running game.
And here's a sweep.
a
Ward
hold.
gets the corner, bounces outside, hurdles a man inside the 25, down to the 23, where he's dropped by Richard Clevenger. It's a 7-yard gain for Jalen Ward and a sweep to the left. It'll bring up 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, the Dragons had a shot for a tackle in the backfield, but looks like we got basically spun around by the jersey, and no flag for the hold.
3rd and 13 for Franklin from the Dragons' 23. Twins to the right, receiver left. Roberts gives again to their big running back. And John Shepard able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. So it'll be 4th down and 10. Richard Clevenger again brings him down after a 3-yard gain. And
Looks like a field goal attempt coming here.
the kicker is Nick Woods. He's 2 for 3 on field goals this season. His long is 27. This one will be from 36, make it 35 yards, as it's just inside the 26-yard line. Ball's even with the left upright. There's no wind.
Keep looking up, kid. You're going to
Reed Roberts is the holder. Snap is high. Roberts
Missed
gets
it
it down. The
bad.
kick is
Missed it
up, and it's
bad.
way short.
All right.
So the Dragons able to hold by forcing a missed field goal, and the big play on that drive again. Noah Mack with the sack to put Franklin behind the chains and force him to attempt a field goal on 4th and long, and the Dragons able to take over. At their own 20-yard line, 9:51 to go, second quarter scoreless, and so twice the Grizzly Cubs have started a drive in Dragon territory, and twice they've come away with no points, and it's going to be a big boost for this Dragon defense.
Well, the defense has been, had their backs against the wall a couple times here and been able to step up to the challenge. They've shut them down after 2 big runs up the gut, and the big sack by Noah Mack just really shut them down and put them back behind the chains.
Roth with a 4-receiver spread on first down from the Dragons' 20. He'll move Grayson Thomas behind him in a pistol formation. Grizzly Cubs show blitz. Here they come, and they run right into it, and Thomas is dropped for a loss back to the 18-yard line. That was a jailbreak coming in, and Jake Houston brought him down, but there were anyone of 4 Grizzly Cubs that could have met him in the backfield.
Yeah, we're going to have to go long count on them or something like that to try to slow this pass rush or down or run blitz in this case. But same thing that we did to them. Apply pressure up front and make them beat you.
Dragons just 20 rushing yards on 15 carries so far in this game. Got second down and 12 from their own 18 here. Roth will send Damon Hockett in motion, toss it to him. He tries to get the corner and gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Maybe an extra yard as well, so 3 yards on the forward pitch. So I guess that's a pass completion to Hockett, and it'll be 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, and you're already on the short side of the field and running into that boundary. I like to run to the wider side of the field in a case like that when you're trying to get the old end around.
Trips to the left, receiver right. 3rd down and 9 for the Dragons from their own 21-yard line. Roth will move Thomas to his left in the shotgun. Roth fakes, keeps himself, tries the middle, and didn't get very far. He's going to be stopped well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. 3-yard gain for Lincoln. And the Dragons go 3 and out, and they're going to have to punt. It's just rough sledding offensively for the Dragons tonight, and it's kind of been a little opposite of what we expected. This Franklin team scores a lot of points, but they also have been somewhat vulnerable defensively, but the Dragons have really struggled to move the football. And quite honestly, so have the Grizzly Cubs. The defenses have really held so far. So Matt Brown into punt for the second time in this game. The line of scrimmage is the 24. Snap is good. He gets off a nice
Good
high,
punt.
deep punt.
Get a roll.
And
Get a roll.
Roberts fields it at his own 30-yard line and just goes out of bounds. As there were, again, 2 Dragons on top of him, Damon Hockett and Jack Johnson. And so he steps out at the 31. That's a punt. 45 yards for Matt Brown with no return. So 7:49 to go in the second quarter, and a fast-moving first half. Dragons and Franklin are scoreless. The Grizzly Cubs will take over at their own 31.
Well, we need a turnover here. They've done a lot defensively, but they need to get a big turnover.
They give to Ward. He's able to dance his way through the line of scrimmage, try to cut back left, and he gets a couple of yards to the 33, maybe the 34-yard line before Aiden Ewers brings him down. Give him 3 to the 34. It'll be 2nd down and 7. And neither team has had much success. Franklin with 28 rushing yards in this game. The Dragons got hard counted there.
Yep. That's how you slow them down.
So 2nd and 7 just became 2nd and 2 for the Grizzly Cubs, as the Dragons are offside. So move the ball forward to the 39-yard line of Franklin. Grizzly Cubs with twins to the right, receiver left, twin running backs. High snap, but they're able to get it to Shepard, and he puts his head down and gets the first down on a runoff tackle to the left side. And he needed 2, he got 4. And the Grizzly Cubs move the chains for the 3rd time in this game.
He's a big back sophomore, 6'1", 210. Runs with a nice forward lean. He's going to deliver the shot when he gets hit. There's no doubt about it. He's not going to sit there and get pounded around like a pinball.
First and 10, Grizzly Cubs from their own 43. Twin back set out of the shotgun. Roberts on play action, back to throw. Going deep down the left sideline. Has a wide open receiver. Max Lancer makes the catch, breaks a tackle. Touchdown.
Dang it.
57 yards on the touchdown pass from Roberts to Lancer. And the Dragons get beat deep, and he was wide open. And caught the pass and had to break one tackle at the 15-yard line, and that was it. And the Grizzly Cubs are on the board. With 6:41 to go in the second quarter, the Dragons trail at 6-0.
Yeah, the Dragon defender just might have peeked into the backfield a little bit too much. It looked like the Dragons might have a sack, and unfortunately they weren't able to get any pressure on him, and he had a wide open receiver down the – oh, nice block.
And the Dragons block the extra point. Hunter Burks comes in to block it, and then Aiden Ewers fell on it. Of course, in high school you cannot advance an extra point. Had they been able to, the Dragons would have had a defensive two-point conversion if we were playing by college rules, because Aiden Ewers picked that up, and he had nothing but green turf in front of him. Alas, it's 6-0. The Grizzly Cubs lead the Dragons. 6:41 to go in the second quarter. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Now, back to the action on NewPalRadio.com.
6:41 to go second quarter. The Dragons trailing the Franklin Grizzly Cubs 6-0 after a 57-yard pass to Max Lancer. And so New Palestine with a little bit of work to do after surrendering the first points of the game, and the offense has not been able to get much going so far. And really, Franklin had not either until being able to dial up a long pass. So Jack Henderson is the ball teed up on the 40-yard line. This time it's a pooch kick,
You better
and
go cover this.
it rolls, and it's still loose,
no.
and it's still rolling around inside the 10-yard line,
Oh, my
and the
goodness.
Dragons fell on it. Oh, my.
We dodged a serious bullet.
The Dragons, who normally are incredibly good at special teams, have had two major miscues on the kickoffs, and this one they dodge a bullet. They got surprised by an onside kick earlier in the game, and this one it was a pooch kick, and it just kept bounding around and rolling, and it was Maddox Johnson who fell on it back at the 9-yard line to avert disaster. But the Dragons, who have struggled to move the ball in this game, now trailing 6-0, take over at their own 9, and they've got a long field in front of them.
And it's time for that offensive line to suck it up and start blowing people off the line of scrimmage. That's the only way they're going to move this football. They've got to start getting a good push up there and letting Grayson have some room to run.
Roth gives to Thomas up the middle. He's got some running room, makes a man miss, bounces outside, and is brought down at the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 8 for Grayson.
That's a start.
He had a little crease up the middle and was able to use a shiftiness to get himself in the open field and turn that into an 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, the Dragons keep spreading them out, and they like their odds with their inside 5 or 6 blockers. And, once you get past that second level, there's no free safety back there.
Roth fakes, keeps himself, bounces outside. He has spun down hard right at the first down marker. It is a first down for Lincoln. He got the 2 yards he needed, no more. Well,
no, they're marking him short.
Nope. Well,
aren't they?
Okay, now they're moving. Well, hold on.
We don't
they're
know what the heck
signaling, and
Yeah,
now I
they
think
waved him on.
they moved him. So they stopped the clock, signaled first down, and then the line judge on the far side was holding the chain, saying, guys, don't go yet, and then they signaled first down. So 1st and 10, Dragons from their own 19. Here comes the blitz. Roth, quick throw. On a bubble screen, Damon Hockett makes a man miss, makes 2 more miss, and then he gets drilled at the 25-yard line. Good strong tackle made. And here's a late flag as well. Greg Houston had the tackle, and then well after the play. There was a late hit and a flag.
That was kind of fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. The Dragon offensive lineman downfield getting a block, and he got a pancake against a smaller defensive back. Not a real hard block to get. But anyway, as he was taking himself off of him, oh, no, we got the call. Are they going to call it on both of them?
They were calling it on both players.
Okay.
And Dragon fans, you can hear them voicing their displeasure.
On both teams that will offset. Second down.
So, personal fouls on both players.
Well.
And so, they offset.
At least it was after the play.
It's second down and 4 for the Dragons after a 6-yard gain.
Now just back it up and go get another block like that. That's what I want to see happen.
And Roth gives to Thomas. He gets a little crease
baby.
up the middle, and he's
Whoa.
dragged down by the helmet at the 33-yard line. Making the tackle was Noah McCann. It is a gain for a first down, a gain of 8 for Grayson Thomas. And Dragon fans calling for a face masking penalty, none forthcoming. So kind of voicing their displeasure a little bit in front of us.
Sounds like the moms are getting upset.
Twins and an H-back to the right on first down. Roth, play action, keeps himself, and Greg Houston brings him down for a short gain on the play.
Yeah, we got to slow that down. We got to start going hard count. Slow down that count a little bit because they're teeing off right now with their basically a run blitz. Coming from the backside, they're uncovered.
4:28 to go, second quarter. Dragons trail Franklin 6-0. New Palestine with the ball at its own 34-yard line, 2nd and 9. They'll go back with that diamond formation. Now send Brown a slot to the left and Austin a slot to the right. 4-receiver spread. Roth back to throw. Quick throw left. Caught. Nope, dropped.
Darn it.
Matt Brown was open. It was in his hands at the 40-yard line, but as he was going to the turf, the ball squirted out of those hands and went to the turf. So it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 9 now for the Dragons. 4:11 to go in the first half, and this is going pretty much the way Franklin would want it to, as they lead at 6-0.
All right, here be a good opportunity to get that hard count. Try to draw them off sides.
3rd and 9.
They've been throwing their ears back and going.
Austin and Brown line up as slots to the right. One receiver left. Roth rolls out to the right, looking to throw. Still rolling out, still looking. Throws downfield and just threw it away. Damon Hockett was the intended receiver. He was in triple coverage, and Roth just threw it into the stands, essentially. And so the Dragons going to have to punt for the 3rd consecutive possession. It has just been rough sledding offensively. They have not been able to get really anything consistently going in this game offensively. And give credit to Franklin's defense. They have been aggressive and
they've got the offense back on its heels and questioning their block pickups, their assignments, and unfortunately it's caused for a few sacks and some tackles for loss from the running game.
Matt Brown, the punter. Snap is good. It's a low end-over-end kick, and it bounces out of bounds at the 33-yard line. It looked like they were trying to keep the ball away from Grant Roberts, a very dangerous return man.
Probably a good idea considering the way we covered it last time.
33-yard punt, no return. Franklin with the ball at its own 33 with 3:57 to go in the half. Franklin leads at 6-0, and remember they deferred the opening toss, so they will get the ball to start the second half. So this is a big juncture in this game. The Dragons need a stop. If nothing else, just to keep this a one-score game going into halftime. Reed Roberts has twins to the left. One running back in the backfield and gets the call and does not get very far. Gain of a yard or 2 as Jalen Ward is brought down by Richard Clevenger and Nick Bastian. It's a 1-yard gain, 2nd down and 9. 3.5 minutes to go. First half, Franklin leads 6-0 on a 57-yard touchdown pass from Roberts to Max Lancer. Came at the end of their last possession. The extra point was blocked. Twins to the right here on 2nd and 9. H-back also set right. Roberts Play action,
Get there.
throws downfield, and it's caught by Lancer, and he breaks a tackle inside the 40 to the 36-yard line of New Palestine. They've gone to Max Lancer twice, and he's turned in 2 huge plays, and Franklin has the ball at the Dragons' 35.
And basically, he was the only guy in the pattern. We had 3 guys around him, and they still completed the football.
That's a 31-yard pass. And the Grizzly Cubs have the ball in the Dragons' 35. 3 minutes to go.
He's got some nice wheels, though.
Big target, too, at 6'3".
Yep.
Dragons show blitz. They give it to Ward, breaks a tackle. Flag comes down to the backfield. Ward's dropped for a very short gain on the play, but this should be holding.
And then we got another one over here on the sideline, so maybe it's, yeah.
You know, there's 2 flags down.
Okay.
Holding is the signal on Franklin.
They both got it, looks like.
If that is from the spot of the flag, they're going to put the flag down at the 37, so that's going to be a 12-yard penalty on the Grizzly Cubs. And we'll bring up first down at 22. And there the Dragons showed blitz. They came hard, and really the Grizzly Cubs had no choice but to hold because Ward would have been dropped for a pretty big loss had there not been.
I hope we need to do it again. Got to keep him on his heels as much as possible. Maybe he'll float one and we'll pick it off.
Twins to the left, Dragons show blitz again. Give up the middle, and here's breaking through inside the 30. 1 man to beat. Shepard, 15, 10, 5, pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. That was just a little dive play up the middle, and Shepard turned it into a 45-yard gain out of bounds at the 2. And Franklin now is threatening to go up 2 scores.
Well, they spread us out kind of like what we were trying to do to them, and he just kind of slow rolled that play and let his blockers set up, and he was able to go pick his way through that first and second level of Dragon defense and then break off for the big gainer.
First and goal, Franklin from the 2. Ward and Shepard, the running backs on either side of Roberts in the shotgun. Dragons show blitz. Give to Ward, tries the middle, dives forward, and I don't think he got there. He's going to be dropped at about the half-yard line. So second down and goal for Franklin. Already leading 6-0, 2:20 to go in the first half of play. Grizzly Cubs right back to the line. Again, twin running backs. And now the quarterback is going to go. He dropped the snap.
He dropped it.
And the official is saying he is down. And he basically dropped the snap. He was trying to rush under center and
quick snap it.
But his knee went down to the turf as soon as he got the ball. So they lost a half a yard on the play. It's going to be third and goal from the 1. 1:45 to go, clock rolling. Grizzly Cubs lead 6-0. Roberts in the shotgun, takes the snap, high snap, gives to Shepard, pushes the pile forward.
And
no signal yet. There it is, touchdown. And the Dragons trail at 12-0. As Franklin scores on back-to-back possessions. And now New Palestine has a lot of work to do with an offense that has really struggled tonight. So the Franklin Grizzly Cubs with a 12-0 lead. They're going to go for 2 to try to make this a 14-point game. And they'll move the ball to the left hash. John Shepard, a 1-yard touchdown run, gives Franklin a 2-score lead. Twins to the right, receiver left. They'll send Ward in motion to set up trips right. Quarterback takes to the right up the middle and untouched into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. So the Dragons have a little bit of work to do. They trail the Franklin Grizzly Cubs 14-0, 1:29 to go in the first half. This is Dragon Football on NewPowerRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habig, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on Arbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
Pork Vets.
This is Dragon Football.
All right, we're back at New Palestine's Kelso Stadium. The Dragons trailing the Franklin Grizzly Cubs 14-0. Touchdowns on back-to-back possessions for the Grizzly Cubs. They hit a 57-yard pass to Max Lancer, and then a 31-yard pass to Lancer set up a 1-yard touchdown run by John Shepard. Shepard also had a 45-yard run on that drive. Just two big plays, and that's been the thing. The Dragons have been able to force Franklin into long yardage situations. They're going to squib kick this one, and it's fielded at the 34-yard line by Damon Hockett. But they've been able to force Franklin into long yardage situations, but it's been big plays. 3 big plays have done in the Dragons tonight, and they've turned into 2 Franklin touchdowns. And now the Dragons have 1:28 to work with, trailing by 2 scores, and this is basically a must-score possession given the situation in this game right now.
You know, the Dragons are going to have to turn around and kick the ball off to start the second half, and you know, you need a score here. Otherwise, you take a chance on coming out and being down 21-0 after the first possession of the second half.
Twin backs in the backfield. Lincoln Roth.
Whoa.
Fakes. Under pressure. He throws deep over the middle for Blake Austin into coverage. Blake goes up and makes an incredible catch. Lincoln Roth just chucked it downfield into double coverage. And Blake went up at the 31-yard line and reeled it in right over the top of one of the Franklin defenders. First down, Dragons.
Way to be an athlete, Blake Austin. That was a for sure pick.
That's a 35-yard gain. Now the give to Thomas. He
Here we go.
Breaks a tackle outside the 20. Puts his head down and cuts inside the 15-yard line down to the 13. That's an 18-yard gain for Grayson and a first down.
I don't know if we want to score so quick. Like, slow down a little bit, fellas. That was a great 2 plays right there. The Dragons got some momentum on their side, and Franklin calls a timeout.
The Grizzly Cubs will take a timeout. We will too. 1:03 to go in the first half. Franklin 14, Dragons nothing, but the Dragons on the move. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com.
Pork Vet Solutions is the best veterinary choice for your swine operation. Our 2 doctors, Matt Ackerman and Dylan Lape, can help you position your pork production system for the 21st century. We provide veterinary and consulting services, herd visits, preventive medicine, and more. Pork Vet Solutions is licensed and accredited in 8 states. Reach us online at porkvet.com or call 623-5132. That's porkvet.com or 623-5132. Pork Vet Solutions, literally saving your bacon each and every day.
This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com.
1:03 to go in the first half. Dragons trail at 14-0, but they're on the move. 1st and 10 at the Franklin 13-yard line. After a 35-yard pass to Blake Austin, followed by an 18-yard run by Grayson Thomas, and Franklin quickly called its first timeout.
Yeah, they need an adjustment right there, and as the Dragons really had it rolling on those 2 quick plays.
Twin receivers right. Roth keeps on a sweep to the left, doesn't have a whole lot of running room, puts his head down, and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. May have lost a half a yard. 2nd down and 10. And now the Dragons are going to take a timeout. They're first. So 55 seconds to go. First half, Dragons will have 2nd and 10 from the Franklin 13. We'll take another break. Come back right after this. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community in Dragon Football. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
Back at Kelso Stadium, Dragons facing 2nd and 10 from the Franklin 13-yard line. Lincoln Roth with a long count coming out of the timeout. Trips to the right, 1 receiver left is Caleb Byers.
Grizzly Cubs again show blitz. Here they come. Roth steps up, throws.
Get there.
To the end zone, incomplete. Again, Franklin coming with that corner blitz. Roth under duress. Floated one to Blake Austin. He had to come back for it at the front of the end zone on the out route and just couldn't come up with it. 3rd down and 10 Dragons.
Well, Franklin had 5 defensive backs, it looked like that time, lined up on about the 5-yard line, and when the Dragons went trips to the right, they were signaling the backside corner to blitz because they knew that Lincoln would probably be looking that way with the 3 guys over there. But the Dragons need to pick that up. They're going to do it again. It looks like he's cheating.
Yeah, 3rd and 10. Roth back to throw. Throws, quick slant, caught. It's going to be short of the first down to the 6-yard line to Blake Austin. So it's a gain of 7. It'll be 4th and 3. So the Dragons will use their final timeout here. Trailing 14-0, 43 seconds to go in the first half. The Dragons have 4th and 3 from the Franklin 6. This is we kind of mentioned a must-score possession with Franklin getting the ball to start the second half. This is a really critical juncture in this game with the Dragons down 14.
Yeah, and Coach isn't going to line up and kick a field goal here. He's pretty confident in that passing game and Lincoln's decision-making. And, he may be focused here. Let's just get the first down. Let's move the chains. We've still got 40, after this play, we'll probably have about 38 seconds left. So stop the clock after a first down, and then, maybe we still have 1 timeout left. So he might have called 2 plays in the huddle.
Here we go, 4th down and 3. Dragons line up Brown and Austin to the right. Hockett and Byers to the left. It's a pistol formation with Thomas behind Roth in the shotgun. Ball's on the Franklin 6. Now Brown lines up as an H-back right as he moves in motion. Long count for Lincoln. Back to throw. Looks right, deep corner route to Austin. And
yes,
there's a flag.
Flag.
Incomplete pass, but there is a flag. And so that will put the ball, it's a half the distance penalty in high school football, and it is not necessarily an automatic first down, although the ball was on the 6. A half the distance will carry to the 3. So the fade to Austin, it's going to be 1st and goal Dragons. Pass interference is the call, and first down is what's signaled. So
I had to watch him walk it off, and it was right at the marker.
Yeah, so it's going to be 1st and goal from the 3 with 38 seconds to go. Dragons have 1 timeout to work with. Richard Clevenger has come in as a second tight end. He and Brown, the 2 tight ends. Shotgun spread. Roth gives to Thomas. Nothing there. He's dropped for a loss back to the 5. And so the Dragons going to take their final timeout. So the 2nd down and goal from the 5.
Just absolutely no push by the offensive line on that play.
You can tell they miss Ethan Sturgeon.
Yeah, big time.
You take a Division I offensive lineman off the field, and that's a big loss. And so he is unavailable tonight due to an injury, and it's really been rough sledding in the running game. Dragons have run it for 60 yards on 23 carries, but take that back. My math is off here. They have run it for 40 yards on 23 carries, and 18 of those were on 1 play. So,
well, nothing has been real consistent up front. What kind of play call do you go with here?
Well, I think
you probably have to throw the football to try to stop the clock if you incomplete pass.
Look to Brown and Austin.
Yeah, you got to go with your athletes.
Brown is a H-back set left. Austin, the receiver, right.
We're setting him up for the fade here.
Roth back to throw. Under pressure. He's sacked. Back at the 17-yard line.
Just too much. Play's taking too long to develop.
Or make that the 13-yard line, but that's a loss of 8. The Dragons have no timeouts. We're in the final 18 seconds. 3rd and goal. Trips to the right.
Let's go.
Roth with 10 seconds. Takes the snap. Back to
Get
throw.
A block. Get a block.
Again under pressure. Rolls out to the right. Looking downfield. He throws. Back corner of the end zone. Incomplete. 2 seconds to go.
And so the Dragons now facing 4th and goal from the 13-yard line. And what was a promising drive is stalled out. Now it's a case of down 14. Do you go for the 30-yard field goal?
Yep.
That appears to be what they're going to do. It's Brendan Tanksley heading onto the field to get the Dragons some points.
Got to get some points out of this.
It's a 30-yard field goal for Tanksley. Blake Austin is the holder. Austin White is the snapper. Ball is just a bit inside of the left hash, so there's a little bit of an angle. Snap is good. Tanksley's kick is up. It's got the distance, and it is good. So the Dragons, Brendan Tanksley gets the Dragons on the board at halftime with a 30-yard field goal, but the Dragons trailing the Franklin Grizzly Cubs 14-3 after 24 minutes of play. The D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care halftime show commences momentarily. The Dragons trailing the Grizzly Cubs 14-3. Franklin will have the ball to start the second half. But Mike and I will come back, recap the first half, give you some stats, as well as some scores from some other games. Halftime here at Kelso Stadium. It's the D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care halftime show. It's the Grizzly Cubs leading the Dragons 14-3. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All Star Turf Management.
At Real Life Church, we've done everything we can to create a place people love so they can experience a loving God. That means we do everything with you in mind. Whether it's our weekend services, our kids and student ministry, or small groups, we really have been expecting you. We've been praying for you, and we're excited about the opportunity to go on a spiritual journey with you. We hope that you'll take your next step and join us this weekend at Real Life Church. There's always room for you.
Catch the Shot Photography is your hometown photographer. Locally owned by Brenda Adams Turk and David Turk, Catch the Shot is dedicated to providing quality photos of your family, seniors, sports, and special events. We offer custom designed products including sponsor banners, photo collages, senior banners, and much more. We look forward to catching the shots with you. Contact Catch the Shot Photography at 317-620-1240 or catchtheshot.com. D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Now, back to the action on NewPalRadio.com.
Halftime at Kelso Stadium, the New Palestine Dragons trailing the Franklin Grizzly Cubs 14-3. And really the story has been big plays by Franklin that have led to both of their touchdowns. They took a 7-0 lead with 6:41 to go in the first half. The two teams had really kind of ping-ponged back and forth without either one getting much of anything going offensively, but then Reed Roberts hit Max Lancer wide open down the left sideline on a deep ball. Lancer took it the last 20 yards of a 57-yard hookup to give the Grizzly Cubs a 6-0 lead after the extra point was blocked with 6:41 to go in the half. The Dragons then able to drive it out to their own 34-yard line after that, but that possession stalled. They had to punt it back, and Franklin hits a deep ball to Lancer, a 31-yard pass, and then after a holding penalty, put him back to the Dragons 47 on 1st and 22. John Shepard took it up the middle for 45 yards. That sent him up at the 2. Shepard ran it in the final yard on 3rd down to give the Grizzly Cubs a 14-0 lead. Roberts with a 2-point conversion with 1:29 to go in the half. The Dragons, again, as they've done so much this year, made plays in the 2-minute drill, and it was a kind of a duress throw by Lincoln Roth. He was under all kinds of pressure and just threw it up. And Blake Austin reached over the top of a defender to make an interception, or make a reception to prevent an interception for a 35-yard gain to the Franklin 31. Grayson Thomas went 18 yards on the next play to get the ball into the red zone, but the drive stalled out. 14-3 Franklin at halftime. Let's take a look at the halftime numbers. Dragons with 8 first downs, the Grizzly Cubs with 5. Neither team with a turnover in this game, although the Dragons did muff an onside kick that went to Franklin. And so while it's not a turnover statistically, it effectively is one. And so Franklin with 168 total yards to the Dragons 103. Franklin with 80 on the ground, 88 through the air. The Dragons 34 on the ground, 69 through the air. Penalties, Grizzly Cubs 2 for 15, the Dragons 1 for 5. Take a look at the individual numbers for the Dragons. Grayson Thomas has 28 yards on 13 carries, rushing the football, and 18 of those came on one play. And hold on a second. My math is way off on this here. Grayson had 48. Grayson has 46 yards, so not 28. Grayson has 46 yards, and Lincoln Roth has 6. So the Dragons have 52 yards on 24 carries. Roth with 6 yards on 11 carries. He has been sacked 3 times in this game. Also, Lincoln throwing the ball 6 of 12 for 69 yards. Blake Austin has 3 catches for 49. Also, Damon Hockett has a pair of catches for 9 yards, and Matt Brown has a catch for 9 yards. For the Grizzly Cubs, they are led by John Shepard, their sophomore running back, has 66 yards on 7 carries and a touchdown. Jalen Ward has 18 yards on 7 carries, and Reed Roberts, the quarterback, minus 4 yards on 4 carries. He's been sacked 3 times. Roberts throwing the ball 2 of 4 for 88 yards, both to Max Lancer. One of those hookups a touchdown. So those are our halftime numbers. Dragons trail at 14-3. And Mike, I think one thing you've seen is the Dragons have not been able to get much push on the offensive line in this game, and as a result of that, they've really struggled to get anything going consistently offensively.
Yeah, they've had a couple of plays where they rattle off 6 or 8 yards, but then they'd come back and, what they're doing is they're kind of run blitzing from the backside and able to force the Dragons into a loss or behind the chain situation. So we got to be a little bit more consistent. And when Lincoln's been pressured, he's struggled obviously getting the football off and had a great opportunity a couple of times and just flat out missed people. And the Dragons are struggling up front, and it's a little bit slow developing. Is kind of what's happening. It might be a better off situation where maybe the Dragons just take direct snap and go right up the gut. That Lincoln had a couple of runs with success early on doing that, but when they're running the read option or something where a guy from the backside has an opportunity to penetrate and get there, they're able to make a play. And so the Dragons got to come up with something a bit better, quicker hitting, I think, up front that would help them out.
And defensively, the Dragons have done good things, but it's limiting the big plays. That's really where Franklin has been able to get them spread out. A couple of deep passes to Lancer, who's a really good receiver, and then one big play in the running game, but it led to a touchdown.
Yeah, coaches will talk about winning the explosive play battle. You've got and the explosive plays are plays over 25 yards, so 20 to 25 yards. And the Dragons have given up, 3 big ones. That big run by the big tailback and obviously the pass play. And the Dragons have got, I believe, 0. So where they had that one there at the end of the half to get down in the field goal range. But the Dragons have allowed way too many of those to occur. Even then, they've been defensively put them in that situation where they put them behind the chains, but they just aren't staying consistent. And that's sometimes indicative of a young team, and that we've got a young secondary, and that their struggles have been kind of like that all year long. So hot and cold. But historically, what has happened? The Dragon defense has stepped up and found a way to make a play and come up with a stop or force a turnover, and so that's what's going to have to happen right out here off the get-go after the kickoff.
And that's the thing. Franklin, their last 3 possessions, missed field goal, touchdown, and so it's a key. You want to make plays. They've been able to get to Roberts. They've sacked him 3 times, but it could need a big play, and that's the one thing this defense has not really done a lot of although the last couple of weeks they have, is forced turnovers. And that's really been a hallmark of this Dragon defense, the Red Rage, over the years. The one thing that happens, though, is teams play a lot more conservatively against them because they are so good at forcing turnovers that, it's something you're going to need. But now you're down 14-3, and the Grizzly Cubs are going to get the ball to start the second half. They're likely to come out and play pretty conservatively against you and now try to shorten the game.
Absolutely. You want to let that clock running and keep the Dragon offense off the field. And, really they've had opportunities to do that. The Dragons have come up with a few stops, but overall, we've just flat out struggled. That big tailback is Shepard has just really kind of killed us with the running game.
Yeah, he's been very good, and 66 yards on 7 carries, 45 of those on one play. And so let's take a look at some of the other scores in the area. Mount Vernon leads Pendleton Heights 19-0. That's a halftime score. The other game in that sectional, Newcastle-Connorsville, we have not seen a score from that game yet. Rebuff leads Yorktown 28-0 at halftime. Delta ahead of Fort Wayne 14-6. That game early in the second quarter. And so those are the other games in the conference. Elsewhere in the state tonight, there's a number of games. Mooresville and East Central, that's kind of the game of the night in 4A, tied at 7. That game in the second quarter. Halftime, Avon leads Brownsburg 14-7. Be a mild upset in Class 6A if that score holds. But we do have an update now, the Newcastle score. Newcastle leads Connorsville 12-7 at halftime. Westfield with a 28-0 lead at halftime. And we'll catch who they're playing here. I've got a score, but don't have their opponent. Westfield leading Noblesville 28-0 at halftime. And so Logansport over South Bend St. Joe 28-0. Fort Wayne North leads Fort Wayne Northrop 22-7. Snyder over Homestead 10-7 in Fort Wayne. McCutcheon over Kokomo 10-7 in Class 5A. Columbus East leads Franklin Central 21-14 in 6A. And so those are some of the other scores in the state of Indiana tonight. And here, the Dragons trailing the Franklin Grizzly Cubs 14-0 at halftime. It's the D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care halftime show. It will continue momentarily. We'll take a break and come back and bring you more of our halftime festivities. After this, Dragons trailing the Franklin Grizzly Cubs 14-3. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management. With a former Dragon star in Bloomington, all eyes should be on the Hoosiers football program this year. HoosierHuddle.com is a free and independent site that has covered the football team since 2013. They provide roster analysis, player profiles, interviews, game previews, wrap-ups, and more. You can follow them on Twitter at Hoosier_Huddle or visit HoosierHuddle.com to keep up with your in-state favorites.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habig, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on our Harbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
Get a Grip is where to go for the serious fisherman. We are the home of the original Golden Rule measuring board, which we manufacture right here in Hancock County. Get a Grip also offers weigh-in bags, reel handlers, mount sleeves, and other fishing accessories. We pride ourselves in providing some of the finest bump boards and weigh-in bags, all sourced and made in the USA. Get a Grip serves the pros, and we can serve you too. Get a Grip is also the proud sponsor of the new Palestine High School Bassmasters fishing team. Visit GatorGrip.com to see our product line. That's GatorGrip.com.
You're listening to the Dragons on NewPalRadio.com.
Halftime in Kelso Stadium, the New Palestine Dragons trailing the Franklin Grizzly Cubs 14-3. This is the D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care halftime show. And the Grizzly Cubs using big plays, a 57-yard pass from Reed Roberts to Max Lancer, and then a 45-yard run by John Shepard that set up his 1-yard touchdown run, giving Franklin a 14-0 lead before the Dragons, Brendan Tanksley, drilled a 30-yard field goal on the final play of the first half to cut their lead to 14-3. Tanksley now 2 for 4 on the year on field goals, as he's hit one from 33 and now 30. And so now you're on the board, so that's a good thing. Now it's 2 scores to take a lead, but the big thing first, Mike, is you got to get stopped. Franklin, of course, deferred the opening kickoff, and they kind of came out with a little bit of trickery on the opening kickoff. It was an onside kick. The Grizzly Cubs recovered it. The Dragons got a 3-and-out. You thought New Palestine was in good shape. They moved the ball a little bit on that first drive. It stalled out on downs on the 25-yard line, and since then, the Dragons have really struggled to move the ball until that last possession where they hit a couple of back-to-back plays, but just consistency on offense is something obviously New Palestine's looking for in this second half. And I guess this is one of the things where your coaching staff here, you've got a veteran group that has had a lot of success in the state tournament, so they've not been in this situation per se, but they've been behind in tournament games. Obviously, remember the game against Cathedral last year where they had to come back. And it looked like Cathedral was about to put that game away, and then all of a sudden it turned on a dime. But really, in a game like this, number one, you've got a coaching staff that's very, very good. You know, we're a little biased, but we think the best coaching staff in the state of Indiana.
Yep.
And what kind of adjustments they make is kind of what I'm looking forward to seeing here in the second half, what they're able to do. Franklin came out doing some very unusual things, but defensively we see what they're doing. It's blitz, blitz, blitz some more. And so if you can get Lincoln Roth some time, there should be some players open downfield.
Well, and also if you can bust something up the gut, because they're going to run right by Grayson or Lincoln with their blitz, because what they've done is they've pretty much left the middle of the defensive backfield wide open. So we just got to be able to get to that next level, and that means that the offensive line has got to stick with their blocks. They've got to give him the action, the hole that they've been able to produce all year long, and so far they've just not been able to do that. And that injuries have affected that, obviously, with Sturgeon out, and I haven't seen him attempted to do any kind of trapping tonight, which we did a few weeks ago with really pretty decent success. We do have a Brownie in there and at the H-back an awful lot. But the one thing that this team right now so far in that first half is just not playing with a lot of fire. You don't see them coming out and getting after it and getting pumped up. We get a sack or something like that and we go crazy. But that offensive line is that group that's really got to set the tone. But obviously, coming out here to start the half, the defense has it all resting on their shoulders. So we don't want to go down 21-3 here in the first possession of this half.
The Grizzly Cubs have scored on their last 2 possessions, but it's also, I think, Scott McMurray, the defensive coordinator, a lot of times, and that was kind of the thought going into halftime was right before they scored to make it 14-0. Just hold it at 6-0 and allow your defensive staff to make adjustments at halftime. It's just unfortunately Franklin was able to get that big play right before halftime and extend the lead.
Yeah, that was an absolute killer. And one possession game, obviously anything can happen. But when you stretch it out like that and you've been able to move the ball with the kind of success they've had, and then of course pressure our offense like they have as well, has been just a rough go in the first half for the Dragons.
The Dragons will move from right to left as you envision this field in your mind's eye in the second half.
Oh, onside kick.
It's an onside kick
We
for
got
the
it.
Dragons,
We got
and
it.
the
There it
Dragons
is.
have it.
There it is.
Each team has opened the half with a successful onside kick. Nick Bastian recovered it. Absolutely perfect kick by Jack Johnson. By Darren Johnson, thank you. Right to the feet of one of the Grizzly Cubs. Nick Bastian recovers, and the Dragons have the ball at the Franklin 49-yard line.
I didn't want to jinx this by saying we might give that a shot, but I am a little bit I'm not shocked. Let's put it that way.
You needed to do something.
Absolutely, and you had to take the chance, and you couldn't have kicked it any better, and the Dragons did a great job of blocking the Franklin guys out from trying to recover it. Let the kicker do it.
Roth gives to Thomas. He pushes his way forward for a couple of yards to the 47-yard line off left guard and tackle. And so it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Dragons.
And
so
what the heck?
We had an equipment issue for one of the Franklin players.
Okay.
They were running somebody off and another one on here. So Ethan Hurley now in the game, a defensive line position. Twins to the right with an H-back also that way. Byers the receiver left. Grizzly Cubs show blitz. Roth play action. Throws.
Got him.
Matt Brown makes the catch. Breaks a tackle inside the 40. Dragon guys inside the 35 and pushed out of bounds at the 33-yard line of Franklin. That's a gain of 14 and a first down for New Palestine.
Yeah, I like that play where the Dragons take their two wideouts and run them downfield to clear out that flat space over on the right side, and Brownie slips out there and is able to, basically pitch and catch with Roth wide open. Nice gainer, good start, got the chains moving.
Same formation, flipped the other side of the field. Roth in the shotgun. Gives to Thomas, has a hole, cuts back up inside across the 30-yard line down to the 28. It closed pretty quickly, but Grayson able to turn that into a 5-yard gain, helped up by the guy who made the tackle, Tyler Fouquet. So it's a 5-yard gain, 2nd down and 5.
Dragons got to take advantage of this momentum that they've established with this onside kick, picking up the first down on the first series.
Brown and H-back and Twins to the left, one receiver right. Roth gives to Thomas, keeps. And Roth will dive inside the right to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 3 for Lincoln. It'll be 3rd down and 2. And again, Grayson did a good job of carrying out that fake. 10.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Dragons trail at 14-3, but they're on the move on the Franklin 25-yard line. 3rd down and 2. We'll go Twins to the right. H-back Brown sets left, and he's behind the tackle. Here's a give to Thomas. Puts his head down. He didn't get there. He maybe got a half a yard, if that. It's going to be 4th and 2.
About a half a yard loss.
So
we're doing a lot of standing up across the front, and I don't know whether that's just the the stout Franklin front four there, but
they're big up front.
Yeah, we are getting. It seems like we're just getting stood up and stonewalled.
So 4th and 2 for the Dragons. 9:50 to go, 3rd quarter. Ball's on the Franklin 25. Twins left, Brown and H-back set left, one receiver right. Roth in the shotgun. They bring the blitz. Lincoln takes it himself. Dives forward, keeps his legs turning. It's going to be close. He didn't make it where they have that marked.
Nope.
The linesman spotted it at the 23 and then backed it up to the 24, and the Dragons, after having 3rd and 2, go nowhere on back-to-back plays. They're going to have to turn it over on downs, and that was a critical possession for the Dragons, and they were unable to get points on the board.
Yeah, they gave themselves the extra possession with the recovery on the onside kick, and unfortunately they pick up one first down and 9.5 yards of the second one. So Unfortunately, got to turn it over and try to get a stop here.
And the Grizzly Cubs give it right up the middle. And Jalen Ward carries for about 4 yards to the 28-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 for Franklin. The Grizzly Cubs lead at 14-3. New Palestine has twice driven the ball inside the Franklin 30, but stalled on downs. And the Grizzly Cubs have essentially used big plays to score. Roberts gives up the middle and diving forward for a couple yards across the 30-yard line is Jalen Ward to the 31. It's another 3-yard gain. It's 3rd and 3.
This is where the defense has to dig in. 3rd and short. Cannot really allow any kind of a drive to go on here.
Ward and Shepard, the running backs on either side of Roberts. 8:43 to go, 3rd quarter. And now they'll move Shepard as an H-back to the right. Looking over to the sideline to get the play. And Roberts going to take it himself. Quarterback sweep, tries to get the corner, and he's got the 1st down. Finally ushered out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And he was shouldered out by Maddox Johnson. Franklin coaches upstairs begging for a late hit, but Maddox got him in the field of play. But whatever the case, it's a 9-yard gain and a 1st down for Franklin. They're out to the 40-yard line. And
we just could not stop them from getting that corner, and it was more or less a stretch play, and that offensive line did a nice job for Franklin of just moving us off the football.
Roberts fakes to Ward, play action, throws deep, and it is incomplete. Isaiah Klein was the intended receiver inside the 30-yard line. Good coverage provided there by Jack Johnson. Incomplete. Will bring up 2nd down and 10 for Franklin from its own 39.
They were complaining about a
no
flag for pass interference, and it wasn't really close.
So 2nd and 10 Franklin. I think the Dragons are free safety playing up tight, and here's a give up the middle to Shepard. Keeps his legs churning across the 45 to the 47. That's an 8-yard gain for Shepard. It's 3rd and 2.
He's just had nice big gains against us when it's really counted for him. And it's gone right up the middle. We've just not been able to get our linebackers to get up there as they're battling their own men in front of them.
Dragons essentially kind of a cover 0. Maddox Johnson is man-to-man with one of the slots. Dragons have 8 men in the box on 3rd and 2. They give it up the middle to Shepard. He's got the 1st down. He just puts his head down and dives forward to the 50. He needed 2. He got 3. And the Grizzly Cubs move the chains for the 2nd time in this drive. And they are in control of this football game right now. 7:43 to go. It's 14-3, and they are just chunking off yards and clock just slowly but surely. And so it's 1st and 10 for Franklin from midfield. Roberts on play action, has time, throws deep down the left sideline, and it is incomplete.
Now they're going to.
And now here comes. And so.
Yep.
And was a flag thrown on the play?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
and
pass
so
interference.
Give Franklin another 15, and they're on the 35-yard line now. And this game just continues to kind of spiral Franklin's way, and it was pass interference on the Dragons. So the Dragons had 3rd and 2 on the Franklin 25 after recovering an onside kick, looking to make this a 1-score game. It didn't convert. And now the Grizzly Cubs converted a couple of 3rd downs, got a pass interference call. Now they're on the Dragons 35 with a 2-score lead, looking to make it 3. Here's a give to Ward up the middle, and he tried to spin off a tackle in the backfield, just got back to the line of scrimmage as he's stuffed by the middle of the Dragon line. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Blaine Nunnally, one of the guys in there on the tackle, as was Richard Clevenger.
Yeah, Clevenger was blitzing on the play, and basically I saw their left tackle stick his arm out to try to hold him and stop him, and he still made the play.
2nd and 10, Franklin. And here's a give to Shepard. He's drilled, but he spins off the tackle. Austin White hanging on for dear life finally brings him down at the 32-yard line. That was a slow developing play, but it's just a 3-yard gain for Shepard. It's 3rd down and 7.
The Dragons had a big hit, but they just didn't wrap, weren't able to hold on to him to bring him down. So at least they're forcing a 3rd and long here now, and it really would be a great opportunity to come up with a big play.
3rd and 7, Twins and an H-back left. Ward, the running back. Dragons showing blitz. Roberts on play action. Throws over the middle. It's incomplete.
Then they're going to throw
and here's another flag.
Jiminy Christmas.
It was a quick slant. And Carmelo Cameron was the intended receiver. And apparently the contact came early, so give him another free 15. Franklin with 30 yards and penalties on this drive that have allowed them to move the ball into the red zone.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Well,
not sold on that one.
1st and 10, Franklin from the 17. Thanks to back-to-back pass interference calls on the Dragons, and now they're knocking on the door here. It's 14-3, and they could break this one open and really put the Dragons in a world of hurt. And just simply put, the Dragons defensively, the last 3 drives for Franklin, they've been able to get the plays they need. And Roberts on play action, back to throw. Deep pass, wide open receiver, and touchdown. Touchdown. Isaiah Klein was absolutely wide open inside the 5-yard line. And the Dragons are down 20-3. That drive was aided by a couple of pass interference calls, but the Dragons have given up touchdowns on back-to-back-to-back possessions and offensively have not been able to get much of anything going. 17-yard pass from Roberts to Klein, and the Franklin Grizzly Cubs take a 21-3 lead on Wood's extra point. Well, he missed the extra point, so it's 20-3. Franklin leading the Dragons. 6:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Dragons with a lot of work to do when we come back. This is Dragon Football on newpalradio.com.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community in Dragon football. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
At Real Life Church, we've done everything we can to create a place people love so they can experience a loving God. That means we do everything with you in mind. Whether it's our weekend services, our kids and student ministry, or small groups, we really have been expecting you. We've been praying for you, and we're excited about the opportunity to go on a spiritual journey with you. We hope that you'll take your next step and join us this weekend at Real Life Church. There's always room for you.
Onside kick for Franklin, bobbled out of bounds. And so
we got a flag.
Well, the flag's because the kickoff went out of bounds.
Oh, okay.
So onside kick.
Well, there's another one over here, which is not.
And now there's an injured Grizzly Cub as well. They have not kicked the ball deep, but they have created chaos on every single kickoff. Franklin leads at 20-3, 6:08 to go in the 3rd quarter, and this has just been really from the opening kickoff when Franklin recovered an onside kick. It has just been a kind of a Murphy's Law game for the Dragons. They've driven it inside Franklin territory, but their inconsistency on offense has not allowed them to finish drives. And they've had 3 possessions inside the 25-yard line of Franklin and have come away with 3 points in those 3 possessions. Franklin has had essentially 2 big plays that led to touchdowns, and then a third touchdown drive that was aided by penalty calls. And so I'm going to put the ball back at the 36-yard line as the ball went out of bounds on the kickoff. I think the original flag was for the kickoff out of bounds, but it hit a Dragon on the way out. So this, in essentially every possession now, is must score for this Dragon team. They're down by 17, and there's only a quarter and a half left in the season if they're unable to mount a comeback here. Roth back to throw on first down. Out route, caught by Brown, and he's shaken down at the 38-yard line. It's a really good tackle made by Noah McCann. And it's just a 2-yard gain, second down.
And we've got a Franklin player down, way down here on their own 39, and he's got cramps.
So it'll be second down and 8 for the Dragons as they attend to this Franklin player that is down. So we're trying to see who this is. It's kind of, he's angled. I think it's Jake Houston, the defensive end, although that's way down the field for a defensive end to be. It's about 30 yards off the line of scrimmage, but it's being stretched out by the training staff. And so it's Michael Beal, the cornerback, that is down on the turf.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And so, Dragons down at their own 38-yard line, second down and 8, 5:53 to go third quarter, and they have struggled against this Franklin team tonight. And winner will play either Whiteland or Seymour. We have not seen an update on that game. So it's Whiteland's at 56-0 at halftime. So I think it's safe to say the winner of this game will be playing Whiteland next week. And
that's not much of a gift.
Yeah, Whiteland ranked number 4 in the state, and they've been really good this year. So Dragons face second and 8 as Michael Beal is up, and he's walking off the field under his own power, although gingerly, as looked like he was cramping. So it'll be second down. Mount Vernon has taken a 25-0 lead over Pendleton Heights that game early in the third quarter. Winner of that one will play Newcastle or Connorsville. Newcastle had a 12-7 lead at half. Brownsburg has taken a 17-14 lead on Avon, that game in the third. Here we're in the third. Dragons trail at 20-3. Dragons will line up twins to the left, Hockett and Byers. Give to Thomas, nothing there.
Jiminy Christmas.
Harris Eason brings him down for no gain on the play. And it'll be third down and 8 for the Dragons. And the Dragons just, again, there's just nothing. And they have not been able to get much of anything on track. Just 62 yards rushing in this game.
I mean, it was pretty easy to see where that tackler came from, and it's just a simple blocking is desire and want. And when you don't have that up front, you're not going to get it done, and that's what's going on right now. That some of those guys have just not acting like their season is depending on this drive.
And they're going to have to punt because Blake Austin tried to break on an out route and stumbled, and the pass was incomplete. And was there contact? No in the eyes of the official, so it'll be time to punt for Matt Brown again. This is Brown's 4th punt of the game. The Dragons trail at 20-3, 5:07 to go, and they're about to give the football back to a Franklin offense that has scored on its last 3 possessions. Snap to Brown is good. He gets off a rocket, and it's fielded on the run. This is trouble across the 50, and Roberts is brought down by Nick Bastian from behind at the 43-yard line. That was a 37-yard punt with a 33-yard or 32-yard return. Franklin takes over at the Dragons' 43. And this is a case, the Dragons usually do not lose the special teams game. They have not won the special teams game tonight. That has been Roberts' second big return. They've had several adventurous kickoff returns, lost an onside kick, won an onside kick as well. But it has Franklin has won the special teams game tonight. And here's a give to Ward, and he's dropped for a loss as the Dragons with good penetration from the backside of the line. So it'll be second down and 11 for Franklin from the 44. So 4:37 to go, third quarter. Dragons trail at 20-3. And we'll go twins to the left, receiver right on 2nd and 11. Give to Shepard. He dances his way forward. This time the Dragons closed the hole, and Shepard was still able to dance and dart his way for 4 yards to the 40. That'll bring up third down and 7.
Yeah, he does a really good job of reading his blockers and letting them set up, and he reads their butts properly. Once he gets those guys get turned, their hips turn, and get their the defender turned, then he just runs right off of it. Does a really, really good job, and the Dragon linebackers got to come up and make the plays, and he's a tough guy to bring down.
Third down and 7 for Franklin from the 40. Roberts gives to Shepard, puts his head down. He's going nowhere. Hunter Burks hanging on, and finally the whistle blows. They never actually got him to the ground. Shepard is begging. He's looking at Jason Ferguson, the referee, with palms up, begging for a call. But he had not gone down, and the whistle hadn't blown. And Hunter Burks was trying to rip the ball free. It's going to be no gain, 4th and 7 for the Grizzly Cubs, and it looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah, at this point, they want to bury the Dragons deep in their own territory if they can.
Max Lancer's the punter. He averages 34.9 yards a punt. Snap is good, and he's going to fake. Now rugby-style punt. It's a nice high punt. Goes down to the sideline, inside the 10, takes a sideways roll.
Thank goodness.
And is going to be down at the 11-yard line. It's a 29-yard punt for Lancer. 2:54 to go, third quarter. Dragons down 20-3. And they've got 89 yards of turf in front of them with a 17-point deficit.
And we need some athletes to step up right now.
So this is when you need your best players to be your best players. And Dragons here with a 4-receiver spread on 1st and 10 from their own 11. Roth now whistle blows right at the snap. There's a flag down.
And we moved.
And that's almost always a procedure violation. So, third penalty on the Dragons for 40 yards. And now they're 1st and 15 from their own 6. And when you're basically every possession is a must score, and you've struggled to move the ball, the last thing you want to do is go backwards and put yourself in the shadow of your own goalpost. Lincoln Roth in the shotgun has his heels on the goal line. Roth back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, sacked. And the ball's loose, and it's picked up. Touchdown, Franklin. Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
When it goes from bad to worse, and it has completely gone from bad to worse. Greg Houston with a fumble recovery for the touchdown with 2:44 to go in the third quarter. The Dragons now trail at 26-3. And this, it has been a long time. I mean, obviously there's not been a lot of losses, but you got to go back to the Columbus East game back in 2016 to see a game where the Dragons have been as thoroughly dominated as they have tonight. And that Columbus East team was a state championship level team, and
this team is not that.
Yeah, and so I mean, this Franklin team is good, but this is not, I think, what anybody expected. The extra point is good. 2:44 to go third quarter, 27-3, Dragons trail. Back after this on newpalradio.com.
Pork Vet Solutions is the best veterinary choice for your swine operation. Our 2 doctors, Matt Ackerman and Dylan Lape, can help you position your pork production system for the 21st century. We provide veterinary and consulting services, herd visits, preventive medicine, and more. Pork Vet Solutions is licensed and accredited in 8 states. Reach us online at porkvet.com or call 623-5132. That's porkvet.com or 623-5132. Pork Vet Solutions, literally saving your bacon each and every day.
Catch the Shot Photography is your hometown photographer. Locally owned by Brenda Adams Turk and David Turk, Catch the Shot is dedicated to providing quality photos of your family, seniors, sports, and special events. We offer custom designed products including sponsor banners, photo collages, senior banners, and much more. We look forward to catching the shots with you. Contact Catch the Shot Photography at 317-620-1240 or catchtheshot.com.
This is Dragon Football on newpalradio.com.
2:44 to go in the third quarter. The Dragons in a 27-3 hole after a fumble inside the 5-yard line was recovered by Greg Houston and run into the end zone. And so some self-inflicted wounds for the Dragons. And here's another pooch kick fielded at the 28-yard line by Blake Austin. He bounces outside to the 40, stiff arms a man, heading down the sideline to the 50 into Grizzly Cub territory and finally forced out of bounds at the Franklin 48. This will be the Dragons' best field position of the night. And so they trail at 27-3, and now you've gone from you need to score to you need a miracle now because you're down 24 points with not a lot of time left, just 2:36 in the third quarter against a team that you have not moved the ball consistently against at all in this game.
Do we even have 100 yards offensively?
We have 100 yards, but it's not much more than that. Yeah. So, and it's been a game where the Grizzly Cubs have controlled the line of scrimmage, and therefore they've controlled the game. They've been able to hit some big plays, and so Roth back to throw. Under pressure, sacked, loses the ball. It's fallen on by the Dragons, but that's a huge loss of 10 yards.
Oh, goodness.
Give some props to Logan Strong, who was Johnny on the spot to recover that fumble, but that's another sack for Franklin. And so it's second down at 20 for the Dragons, and this game is unraveling fast.
Yep.
And again, this is a team that's 3-5 in the regular season. It's got a 24-point lead on you, and it has just been an absolute struggle for the Dragons. And again, this is not we have not seen a New Palestine team struggle like this in years.
Oh,
they just had to burn a timeout.
Oh, they burned. Okay.
So 1:46 to go, third quarter, 27-3 Franklin. Back after this.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
And we come back, second down and 20 for the Dragons. Lincoln Roth will take it himself right up the middle and carries for about 7 yards. So it's third down and 13 for the Dragons. So, minute 30 to go, third quarter. And so they'll go with 4 receivers on third and 13 from their own 49. Roth back to throw. Flush out of the pocket. Now throws
There
deep.
he
He's got an
is.
open receiver. Blake Austin makes the catch, and he's dragged down from behind at the 9-yard line. That is a gain of 44 yards and a first and goal for the Dragons.
Well, that's what happens when you're able to give Lincoln enough time so that Austin can beat his man, because he's got as good a speed out there as anybody, and he's able to hit him in stride. But unfortunately, the kid dives. Oh, now we should get a flag for too many guys on the field.
It doesn't matter.
And we're
Grayson
gonna
Thomas
score.
takes it right up the middle for a touchdown. Franklin was trying to run people off the field, and it's Lincoln Roth faked to Thomas, took it himself right up the middle for the touchdown. And so the Dragons score quickly. And so with 59 seconds to go in the third quarter, Lincoln Roth will take it in. And now the Dragons are going to go for 2 to make this a 2-score game. Because it's an 18-point game now. If you go for 2, you can make it 16 if you can convert. So Roth will line up. Twins to the right. Byers the receiver left. Brown and H-back set left. Lincoln takes a snap, looks, throws, slant, caught Blake Austin, 2-point conversion. And so the Dragons, with a quick 8, have cut Franklin's lead to 27-11. And so Lincoln Roth, a 9-yard touchdown run, conversion pass to Blake Austin. And so the Dragons down 27-11, 59 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll be back right after this. This is Dragon Football on newpowerradio.com.
With a former Dragon star in Bloomington, all eyes should be on the Hoosiers football program this year. HoosierHuddle.com is a free and independent site that has covered the football team since 2013. They provide roster analysis, player profiles, interviews, game previews, wrap-ups, and more. You can follow them on Twitter at Hoosier_Huddle or visit HoosierHuddle.com to keep up with your in-state favorites.
You're listening to The Dragons on newpalradio.com.
59 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lincoln Roth's 9-yard touchdown run has drawn the Dragons within 16 at 27-11. And so
I don't know if you onside kick again or not, but it worked pretty well last time.
Yeah, it did. So, and Darren Johnson will kick deep this time. Fielded at the 15-yard line. And Roberts bounces outside, and he's ushered out of bounds at about the 27. So that's where the Grizzly Cubs will begin this possession. And now you kind of look, if you didn't have that fumble, now it's a one-score game. Well, it's not a one-score game, but now you feel really good. Now you're still down 16. That's a little bit of still a big hole to climb out of. You need 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions.
Well, after the defense, gets a scoop and score here, and we get the ball back, start the fourth quarter,
and
after a shutdown.
Quarterback Roberts fakes, keeps himself, bounces outside to the left, and carries for about 6-7 yards to the 33-yard line.
We have seen it happen.
We have. We've seen
a lot of crazy stuff with this.
This team finds ways to make things happen, and they need to find a way here as we're in the final seconds of the third quarter, down 27-11. Roberts with twins to the left, receiver right, gives to Ward. He's drilled, but he's able to dive forward for a couple of yards. They gave him a really generous. Okay, the official on this side had him marked to the 36, but they gave him to the 35 where he went down. So 3rd and 2. So,
and that's the quarter.
So the horn sounds to end the third quarter. Franklin will have 3rd down and 2 when we come back from their own 35-yard line. 27-11. The Grizzly Cubs lead. We'll be back right after this. This is Dragon Football on newpowerradio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years.
And we'll tell you about Best in Sight Eye Care when we have our next break, but we're back to action in the fourth quarter, and Franklin hard counts the Dragons. That is their third first down by penalty in this half.
And that one's just flat out mental. Football's right in front of you. That's a nose man making that play. You know, obviously you get anxious. It's third and short. You're trying to make a play, but the ball's right in front of you. You just can't make that kind of mental mistake.
Dragons now 45 yards on 5 penalties. 4 of the 5 penalties have been defensive. Roberts on play action, throw in the backfield. He is sacked. That is Noah Mack's third sack of the game. It's a 6-yard loss. It'll be second down and 16 at the 34. Noah Mack.
He is playing with some passion out there. It's what you got to see out of your team leaders.
Doing everything he can to try to ensure this is not his final game. Second down. Here is a give. Shepard stacked up at the line. Keeps his legs turning and finally is dragged down at the 37-yard line. Maybe the 36. And so Nick Bastian, Noah Mack, several guys in there. They'll put him down at the 36. Third down and 14. Shepard is a hard guy to bring down.
He's just a beast.
Third and long for Franklin. Ball's in their own 36. They've got to
they
get to
move.
the field.
There we go.
And there's a flag down. And in high school football and all levels of football, the false start penalty is a automatic dead ball. So back him up 5.
That was a wide out on the far right side of the offense.
So that'll make a third down and
right in front of the official. Hard to get away with that.
Third and 19 for the Grizzly Cubs.
We'll take it. Stops the clock.
So 10:58 to go.
Starts.
Fourth quarter. Franklin has trips to the right. One receiver left on third and long. Roberts is going to take it himself. Quarterback sweep. He is
ball's out.
Ball.
I could have swore I saw the ball out. Must have been a foot.
He's decked. He's actually dropped for a loss back to the 30. It's going to be 4th and 20.
All right.
So Eli Hook comes up to make the tackle. He's had a couple tackles in this game. And so the Dragons, they don't get a 3 and out, but they do force a punt. So they'll get the ball back, down 2 scores, 10:25 to go. And Lancer is in to punt. And
we got to watch him take it off based on what he was able to do with that rugby punt last time.
And he's an athlete. He will rugby-style punt it again. It's an end-over-ender. Takes a Franklin roll inside the 30. Takes a huge bounce. And will go down at the 24. Well, they're still going, but I think somebody touched it at the 24. And they finally whistle it down at the 26.
What do we got? We've got a flag down for.
And
way back at the 26. Backfield in motion.
Okay, yeah, I think you're going to make them re-kick.
It, back it up, make them re-kick.
Something looked really discombobulated or just out of sorts on that snap, and that's why. So the Dragons are going to make them re-kick. It's going to be 4th and 25 for Franklin now. They're punt it from their own 25-yard line.
At least we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
We could just go fair catch this ball. We could pick up 10 or 15 yards.
And that's the one thing. Rugby punts are hard to field because they're usually end-over-end type kicks. If you can get it on the run, that can be trouble for the – but the other problem is that it also, as I said, they're hard to field. So Maddox Johnson back deep to return this.
We may go after this.
The Dragons like to go after punts as it is, and this is a high punt. Johnson will field it at the 40. Makes a man miss, and he's just going to go down right there at the 40. So that's a 35-yard punt with no return. 9:54 to go. They put him back at the 38, so he gave up a couple of yards. 9:54 to go, fourth quarter. Dragons trail at 27-11.
Well,
and now
need to score quick.
If you can get a score here, Now suddenly, and get the 2-point conversion, it becomes a one-score game. So the Dragons line up Byers to the left, Trips to the right. Ball's on their own 38 to start this drive with 9:54 to go. Dragons trail at 27-11. Roth back to throw, fakes the bubble screen, and he's going to be sacked. Back to the 30-yard line. Trenton O'Leary got him. Yeah, there's an 8-yard loss, make it a 7-yard loss.
Well, they set up like they were going to have a bubble screen here to the right side, and in the meantime, it looked like Matt Brown was trying to clear on a seam pattern up the middle, and he had cleared, but by that time, Lincoln had to bring the ball down and was sacked.
That is the 5th time Lincoln has been sacked in this game, and Franklin is selling out. And we have a false start penalty.
We move, yep. Goodness.
3rd and 20 or 2nd and 22 now. The Dragons going the wrong direction. This is pretty much a must-score drive, and there have just been too many self-inflicted wounds tonight. Pre-snap penalties, a fumble lost for a touchdown, and sacks, lots of sacks, and just too many mistakes. And the Dragons have put themselves way behind the chains here. Give to Thomas up the middle, and he's able to get a few of those yards back, but not very many. Got it back to the 31-yard line, so a gain of 6. And it's going to be 3rd down and 17. So 8:50 to go, 4th quarter. Dragons trail it by 16. And they're facing 3rd and 17 from their own 31-yard line. 4-receiver spread. Roth back to throw. Has time. Pump fake. Going deep over the middle. Austin's open. He's got it at the 35.
Come on, baby.
25-20. Head to the pylon. He breaks the last tackle. Touchdown. 69 yards. Lincoln Roth to Blake Austin. And the Dragons are back within 10. It's 27-17. So 69 yards, Lincoln Roth to Blake Austin, just like that. The Dragons, with 8:30 to go, have a chance to make this a one-score game. And there's a Franklin player down with cramps. And so I think the Dragons were trying to run up and get that 2-point conversion play snapped. But the injured player is preventing that. So we will await the 2-point conversion. 8:30 to go. 69-yard pass. Roth to Austin. That is Lincoln's 9th touchdown pass of the year, and it's the 7th to Blake Austin. Blake now 158 yards receiving in this game. And that is the 4th most in Dragon history. And that also puts Blake over 1,200 yards for his career. Moves him past Brandon Collins into 5th place, the top 5 in New Palestine's all-time receiving list. And, they needed a big play from Blake Austin, and they got it.
And quick.
And
they got both of what they dialed up, which was outstanding. But we have to have this too.
Yeah, because it's a 2-point conversion here makes this a one-score game. It's 27-17 Franklin. Dragons will line up with Byers wide to the left, Austin the outside receiver to the right, Hockett and Brown are inside of him. Brown is an H-back to the right.
Austin on a slant. Quick in.
Roth back to throw. Throws. Now he's sacked. So the 2-point conversion is no good, and it remains a 2-score game.
That's got to be a quick. Just got to get rid of it quick. And he tried to wait for Blake to get free as the defender was really in his face and grabbing hold of his jersey, and he couldn't get away from him to try and get open.
So 8:30 to go. Dragons trail at 27-17. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habig, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on Arbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
This is Dragon Football on newpalradio.com.
8:30 to go in the ball game. Dragons trail at 27-17. And so Darren Johnson to kick off after a 69-yard touchdown pass from Lincoln Roth to Blake Austin. And the Dragons have scored back-to-back touchdowns after falling behind 27-3. And
knuckleballer.
Line drive kick, but the Dragons were offside on the kickoff. So 7 penalties on the Dragons now for 55 yards. And so now they'll back it up to the 35 and kick it again. And so 8:30 to go in the game. The Dragons with a touchdown and a field goal deficit here, 27-17. And you just kind of look back at moments in this game, and the 2 times the Dragons had the ball inside the 25-yard line and did not score. And obviously the fumble recovery for a touchdown for Franklin, that essentially the gift touchdown, and that's really right now the difference in this game. So Darren Johnson will kick it off from the 35. It's a squib kick fielded by one of the up men at the 40 and spins down at the 44-yard line. So Houston with a short return. Franklin will take over at its own 44. 8:23 to go in the ball game. And if you're Coach Chris Cole and the Grizzly Cubs, what you want is about 2 or 3 first downs and to run the clock as much as you can and try to shorten this game up with a 2-score lead in the ball.
The Dragons need a 3-and-out badly.
Yorktown has fallen to Brebeuf 35-13. That game has gone final. And here's Roberts. Play action. Looking, throwing, and it is almost picked off. Aiden Ewers with a great break on a pass for Isaiah Klein. And Ewers breaks it up. It's 2nd down and 10.
I'd pick on somebody else.
Aiden thought he had it. He's patting his helmet in frustration.
And that helps us out by stopping the clock on an incomplete pass. So thank you very much for that.
Grizzly comes right back to it.
Going to pitch
and
it
here is Roberts on a quarterback sweep. Gets the corner, and he's dragged down out of bounds at the 49 of New Palestine, or will they say the 50? Looks like they mark him out at the 50. It's a 6-yard gain for Roberts on the quarterback sweep.
And Hunter Burks had the right idea, chasing the play and trying to swat at the football as he dove for the quarterback, trying to bat that ball loose.
It's a big spot in this game. 3rd and 4 for Franklin from midfield. 2 backs in the backfield on either side of Roberts in the shotgun.
The football.
Roberts takes the snap, gives,
there, baby.
And the Dragons have Shepard stood up and bring him down for a loss back to the 49-yard line. And the Dragons were trying to strip the ball free, unable to do so, but it is a 1-yard loss, and Franklin is likely going to have to punt here.
Yeah, they're standing around talking about it, and we dare you.
Yeah, here comes the punt team. Yeah, if it were a 1-score game, maybe, but it's 27-17. The Grizzly Cubs will punt.
Give us that kind of field position. I dare you.
7:39 to go. Max Lancer on to kick. Lancer only lines up 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
We're still moving
and he's going to throw it, and it is knocked away.
It's knocked away. Sweet.
They run a fake.
Sweet.
Trying to catch the Dragons napping, and instead it's an incomplete pass. The Dragons are going to take over at the Franklin 49, trailing by 10 with 7:23 to go in the game.
Well, they're trying. They're trying to help us out here. I'm up 10. I punt it away and make you go 90 yards. But that's why I'm in the booth, and they're down there making the big money.
All right.
as
Here we
school
go.
Football coach.
Blake Austin lines up to the right, Twins to the left. Brown is the H-back left. Roth gives to Thomas. Has a little bit of a push.
Block.
Here comes the offensive line, 10 yards downfield, and Grayson Thomas runs it for 11 to the Franklin 38.
There's that extra block we've been needing. That we picked up the extra block from the trailing linebacker that's been getting us all night, and we got it that time.
Roth gives to Thomas, tries the right side, puts his head down, gets about 3 to the 35 before he's spun down by a lot of Grizzlies. So it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Come on, Red.
Boy, they only gave him 2 on that, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. 6:49 to go. Dragons trail it by 10. Hockett, the receiver right, trips to the left with Austin, the outside receiver.
Get set. Get there and get set. Let's go.
Lincoln in the shotgun, takes the snap.
Good
throws a deep ball, looking for Austin down the sideline. A little bit underthrown. Blake tried to come back for it, but unable to reel it in.
Yeah, no, that's not.
And
yeah, I guess it was.
And so it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Like the idea.
I did too. You've got Blake's such a great athlete, and he can out-jump about anybody of that bunch that I've seen that they've run out there. So you take your shot, threw it up there, and unfortunately I think there was a –
Hockett was unable to reel it in. It's a pretty creative play by Franklin because they brought a safety over to cover Hockett.
What is their deal? This is their 4th guy with daggone cramps tonight.
And so, they've got another player down. So
get those dudes some pickle juice.
4th and 8 Dragons, 6:29 to go in the game. New Palestine trails it by 10. And you got to think that if the Dragons have any chance at completing this comeback, they need to convert this play here.
Yeah.
And
would have been nice to pick up a few on make it 4th and short. But
yeah,
we've not done anything easy all night, so why start now?
So the winner plays Whiteland next week. If it is a Dragons win, it will be at Whiteland. And right now, the Dragons need a lot of good things to happen for that to take place. They trail at 27-17, 6.5 to go in the game, and the Dragons have the ball on the Franklin 36-yard line. And the injured player is Bo Baker, their safety, who's their leading tackler.
Well,
so
good.
he will have to come off.
We want him off the field then.
So 4th and 8. Dragons will send Hockett and Byers to the left. Brown and Austin to the right. Roth has David Spiegel to his left in the shotgun. That's
a little bit.
I think this is a passing down, and so Spiegel is
he's
a really good blocker.
He's a pretty good blocker.
So,
but I don't know. I've seen him all night.
And not on offense
not on
anyway.
This, yeah.
So it's 4th and 8. Dragons have the ball in the Franklin 36, 4-receiver spread. They show blitz. Here they come. Roth throws left, and it is way out of bounds. Incomplete, and the Dragons, for the 3rd time in this game, turn it over on downs in Franklin territory. And so the Dragons drive it to the 36, but stall out, and Franklin takes over. 6:24 to go in the ball game. And the Grizzly Cubs with a 10-point lead in the ball. And it just, and I think it's kind of one of those cases where it's been a struggle all night to develop offensive consistency, and that's where you see it is when drives stall out on downs deep in the opposing team's territory. And really, it's the 4th drive to stall in Franklin territory because remember the one on the field goal as well. They got points out of that, but they had 1st down from the 13 and ended up having to settle for the field goal. Here the Grizzly Cubs take over their own 36. 6:24 to go, and they will take their first time out before the snap. So we'll take 1-2. Dragons trail at 27-17. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, Weed control, aerations, mowing, and more are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community in Dragon football.
Back to action at Kelso Stadium. The Grizzly Cubs give it to Shepard up the middle, and he'll carry for a couple of yards to the 38-yard line. They are in run-out-the-clock mode right now as try to shorten the game as they have a 10-point lead in the ball. Shepard now 89 yards on 15 carries, and one of those was for 45, but that set up Franklin's second touchdown that really kind of set this game in motion as far as the Grizzly Cubs being able to take a lead and take a two-score lead, and they've never looked back. Twins to the right, receiver left. Dragons show blitz, and they give it up the middle to Ward, and he's dropped for a very short gain of a couple of yards to the 40. It's 3rd and 6. Nick Bastian with the tackle on that one. 5.5 to go. They will run the play clock all the way down, so they'll snap it at about 5 minutes. It's 3rd and 6 for Franklin. They lead it 27-17.
Do they try and throw it again here?
They've got 3 receivers in the formation and H-back left. Again,
try to
tries
get
to
us to
hard
jump.
count.
Sweet.
Now they look over to the sideline to get the play. Takes the snap. Oh, the ball's loose. Picked up. Roberts is going to be buried in the backfield all the way back at the 29-yard line. Roberts was able to pick up the bad snap, but he lost 11 yards on the play. And so it will be punting time. And once again, Noah Mack, if you give him a sack on that one, that's his 4th of the night. And so Franklin will again run the clock down before Lancer punts. They've got another 15 seconds before they need to snap it. Clock's inside 4.5.
I'm not really sure why he's looking over his right shoulder when the clock's at the end of the field, but
yeah, good point.
Whatever.
Snap is low. He gets it off, and oh boy, Jack Johnson nearly got that. Lancer got off a great punt, and it takes a big roll as well down the sideline inside the 25-yard line. We'll see where Dan Morgan, the sideline official, marks it off. He's going to say it went out at the 18. That is generous, very generous, because that ball looked like it went out around the 24 or 25-yard line at worst. But it's a 53-yard punt, 4:14 to go. The Dragons haven't gotten many breaks tonight, so you got to create your own. They got 82 yards, 2 timeouts, and trail by 2 scores. So the Dragons' last drives, 2 touchdowns, and they drove to the 36 but turned it over on downs. And that last possession for Franklin, although it did not yield a first down, flipped the field. Roth in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Roth looking deep. He's got Blake Austin down the right sideline. Blake, what a catch! And he couldn't keep his footing or he would have scored. He goes down at the 45-yard line of Franklin.
Oh, what a catch. He had to lay out to get every bit of that football he could, and as you mentioned, he couldn't maintain his footing to scoot on down for the final 45 yards into the end zone. But it sets him up pretty well here with 4:06 left in the ball game.
That's a 37-yard catch. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the – and Thomas carries for 6 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 4 from the 39. Dragons right back to the line of scrimmage. 3:45 to go in the game. They trail by 10. Roth in the shotgun. Again gives to Thomas. Again gets a push. He's got the 1st down. The clock will stop as he carries it to the 34-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain. And the Dragons will be right back on top of the ball.
Trying to get those guys to come in and cheat up a little bit for the run, and so that we can maybe run right by them for a pass play here.
Roth, 3:25 to go. Fakes to Thomas. Under pressure, sacked.
everybody's got to do their job on that offensive line.
Harris Eason sacked him, 7-yard loss. Dragons will have to use a timeout. And that's just been the case. He has just been under duress. And
2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
That is the 7th Franklin sack in this game, and that's for an offensive line, and I know they have been absolutely battered this season with injuries, as has so much of this team.
Oh, absolutely.
That is uncharacteristic of a New Palestine team to give up many, if any, sacks, but 7 in a game is very unusual. But Franklin has been blitzing, and it's kind of a high risk, high reward, and the Dragons have been able to take advantage with some deep shots, but Blake now with 195 yards receiving. That's the 3rd most in school history. Duke Blackwell and Tyler Walden, the only 2 with 200-yard receiving games in school history. Duke, of course, that 328-yard game in the state finals in 2015. So 3:15 to go. Dragons facing 2nd and 17 from the Franklin 41, trailing it by 10.
Yeah, playing a little Journey, Don't Stop Believing. That's what we need right now. Can't stop believing.
Trips left, receiver right is Austin. Roth with a long count takes the snap. Back to throw. Pocket collapses, throws. It's batted down, incomplete.
Yeah, we might try to give that guy some help.
Yeah, it's 3rd down and 17 now from the 41. And so Harris Eason, who has been a thorn in the Dragons' side all night, got a hand on that one. And so it's 3rd down and 17. 3:10 to go in the game. The Dragons also only have 1 timeout.
And it's been kind of a banana rush. It's an outside pass rush. Maybe we shove him outside and then run up inside him.
3rd down and 17. Roth takes the snap. Steps up in the pocket, throws deep down the middle.
A flag.
Blake Austin makes the catch inside the 10-yard line, down to the 6. That's a 34-yard pass, 35-yard pass from Roth to Austin, 1st down.
And I really don't know how he caught the football because he was being absolutely mugged. The guy had 2 hands wrapped around him.
And here's a give up the middle to Thomas. He dives forward. He's down at the 2. Gain of 4 for Grayson. 2nd down and goal from the 2. 2:45 to go. Dragons trail it by 10. Stop the clock. And we have an injured player.
Another cramp.
Yeah, it's another Franklin player down. So the Dragons will have 2nd and goal from the Franklin 2 with 2:41 to go. Franklin leads at 27-17. New Palestine only has 1 timeout remaining, so you have to score and recover an onside kick. And then score again. Blake Austin, by the way, in this game, 7 catches for 230 yards.
Jiminy Christmas.
And that is now the 2nd most in school history. And Blake, with that, now has moved past Jay Ely into 4th place on the Dragons' all-time receiving list. Duke Blackwell, Tyler Walden, and Colby Jenkins, the top 3. And so Blake now 1,284 career yards. That's one heck of a career. And tonight, having a career night, 230 yards as a touchdown. He's made some huge catches in this game. Okay, 27-17, the Dragons trail. 2:41 to go in the game. New Palestine was down at 1 point, 27-3.
All right, punch this dude in, onside kick, recover, field goal, tie, overtime.
And
easy peasy.
Dragons will go trips to the left. Austin, the receiver, right. Clock rolling as Roth takes the snap. Gives to Grayson. Puts his head down, spins forward, touchdown. Grayson Thomas with a 2-yard touchdown run. And so with 2:33 to go, it's now a 4-point game. So the Dragon offense has continued to make plays here. A lot in the passing game to Blake Austin. So it's now 27-23 with 2.5 to go. And so it's going to come down to an onside kick. Brendan Tanksley on to attempt the extra point.
And this is a big one.
This is a big one because that would make it a field goal game. Snap is good. The kick is up. It's a line drive, and it is perfect. 2:33 to go in the game. The Dragons have scored 21 straight. They trail at 27-24. This is Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
2:33 to go in the ball game. Franklin 27, the Dragons 24. And it's coming down to an onside kick. Blake Austin Blake Austin is next to the football, but it's Darren Johnson that's going to kick it. Franklin has 10 players up front. And here's the kick. It is an onside, scooting forward, and it didn't go 10 yards.
Nope.
It didn't go 10 yards. The Grizzly Cubs recover at the 48-yard line in New Palestine. They were trying the short onside kick and hoping to follow the ball and then fall on it, but it didn't go the full 10 yards. So Franklin will take over at the 48. And the Dragons can only stop the clock once. So a first down would end the game. And even if Franklin doesn't get a first down here, even if they just turn it over on downs, they'll only give the Dragons about 15 or 20 seconds. So the Grizzly Cubs with the football. And Roberts gives to Ward, and he spins forward. He keeps the Dragons are tackling the football, but Ward's able to turn that into a 5-yard gain as he just kept spinning forward to the 43. Second down and 5. 2:14 to go. The Dragons elect not to use their timeout here. Boy, they gave him progress at the 42. That was a pretty generous spot.
Cough it up.
2 minutes to go.
Franklin
leading by 3 with the football.
Bad snap.
Twins and an H-back left, receiver right. Ball's on the Dragons 42, 2nd and 4. One running back in the backfield is Ward. And they give it to him. He dives forward, doesn't get much. He stopped right at the line. This is where the Dragons will use their timeout. 3rd and 4.
Here we go, baby.
1:44 to go. And obviously, if the Dragons can get a stop here, they'll get the ball back with about a minute left. So, as they would run the 3rd down play and then snap it at a minute 44, and then the 4th down play, they would snap around a minute. So, if the Dragons can get a stop, they'll get the ball back, but with about a minute to go. But they trail at 27-24. They can no longer stop the clock. Franklin has 3rd and 4 from the Dragons' 42. And since the Grizzly Cubs touchdown in their first drive of the second half, they have not done much offensively, but they've done enough to – but they've really – the big play is a touchdown recovery by their defense that has given them this, gave them at the time a 27-3 lead. Now it's 27-24.
This mesh, they've been in there real tight on this handoff. I could see them choking it up right here.
And here is the Roberts
hang on to it, baby.
He spun down. He tries to spin forward.
He's short.
He is short of the first down. They mark him down. One official has him at the 41, the other one at the 39. And they're going to, I think, split the difference and put it at the 40. 4th down and
of course they'll go for
a long one here.
Come on, boys.
So Franklin's going to run the clock down to 1 second here, the play clock. and probably call timeout, and that'll put 59 seconds on the game clock. 27-24 Grizzly Cubs. They're going to have 4th down and a long 2, about 2.5 yards. And they call timeout with 58 seconds to go in the game. Grizzly Cubs 27, Dragons 24. And it comes down to, number 1, can you get a 4th down stop? And then number 2, with 58 seconds to go, can you get down into scoring territory and put one in the end zone, or at least get into field goal range? So it's 4th down and 2 for the Grizzly Cubs. And really, it's 4th and 3. The tail of the ball is just inside the 40. They've got to get it to the 37.
Yeah, we've obviously got to watch the football.
Yeah, and I think part of the thing, they got 6 yards on the first down because the Dragons were trying to tackle the ball and jar it free.
Sure.
And Ward was able to carry tacklers. And 4th down and 2.5. Ward's in the backfield with Roberts,
which is surprising.
Shepard's the H-back right.
Oh,
they're in the
there,
shotgun.
There he is. Okay.
Dragons have everybody up on the line of scrimmage. Long count for Roberts. Fakes. He's going to throw over the
it knocked it down.
Knocked away. It's knocked away.
Knocked it down.
And the Dragons will take over on downs. He just threw a jump pass into the middle, and
thank goodness it got knocked down because Shepard was wide open, and he would have scored. He would have walked in.
And so the Dragons break up the pass. They have the ball at their own 39, 54 seconds to go, trailing by 3.
And thanks for stopping the clock.
Well, it would have had they got the stop on 4th down anyway.
Yeah,
so, yeah. And so that's why you throw the ball in that situation. So the Dragons essentially 1st and 61. 54 seconds to go. No timeouts. They'll go trips right, receiver, or trips left, receiver right is Byers. Roth takes the snap. Here comes the rush. Roth rolls out to the left.
Don't roll at
looking downfield, throws.
No.
Picked off.
Oh, my goodness.
Lincoln Roth just threw an interception over to the far side, and this ball game is over. And
wait a minute. Oh, they called it incomplete.
Well, hold on. Oh, boy. They called it an incomplete pass.
Whoa.
The Franklin players were celebrating an interception, but he did not get the foot down with possession, so it's an incomplete pass. Dragons catch a break. 2nd down and 10. 47 seconds to go. Dragons with the ball on their own 39, trailing by 3. Trips left, receiver right is Austin. Roth back to throw. Heavy pressure. Rolls out of it. Looks downfield, flag down. Roth throws it away.
Daggone it.
And this is going to be a big one because the flag is all the way back at the 29-yard line. And that's going to put him back at the 19. Jake Houston is down. So, yikes. This is going to be the line of scrimmage was the 39. The flag is at the 31. This is going to be an 18-yard penalty. And so the Dragons are going to have it on their own 21-yard line. 2nd down and 28. 41 seconds to go.
Oh, boy.
And this is – and, again, it's just been the inability to control this pass rush that has really been a problem all night.
And it's come from every direction.
Yeah.
You know, they blitz the backside, and they'll blitz up the middle, they'll blitz the other side. But, yeah, that's a good point. We have not run a screen of any kind.
Franklin has 4 down linemen, and they're basically playing a prevent defense. Roth
still
back to
having
throw.
trouble.
Rolls out to the left, throws. Ball's caught by Hockett, and he gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That's a 9-yard gain. It's 3rd down and still very long. So
trying to pick away a little bit at it. You know, at this point, we just got to focus on getting that 1st down, moving the chains a little bit. Maybe we get lucky on a pass interference call.
3rd and 19, 33 seconds to go in the game.
You still got time to run somebody across the middle here.
Roth back to throw. Has time, steps up, throws over the
There's
middle. He's got Matt Brown open, makes the catch.
baby.
Inside the 4.
Yeah, baby.
5-30 down the sideline. 15, 10, 5, drives to the pylon. Did he get in? Did he get in? No signal yet. No, they say he stepped out of bounds.
Gosh, I don't believe what happened here.
On the 3-yard line. It's a 67-yard pass to Brown. 67 yards on the pass to Brown. So, wow. So the Dragons have the ball on they put it on the 2. No timeouts, 21 seconds to go. Dragons have twins to the left. Roth gives to Thomas. Down the middle. Forward. Is he in? No signal. No signal.
Yes,
Touchdown! Touchdown!
Oh, my
Touchdown, Grayson Thomas! The Dragons have the lead with 17 seconds to go. They were down 27-3 late in the third quarter, and with 17 seconds left, they have taken the lead. It's 30-27. Grayson Thomas, a 2-yard touchdown. An unbelievable comeback. And the Dragons have a 3-point lead.
Unbelievable.
Never. Tanksley's extra point is up and good.
So now
17 seconds. Grayson Thomas, a 2-yard touchdown run, has given the Dragons a 31-27 lead. After a 67-yard pass to Matt Brown, Lincoln Roth has thrown for 369 yards in this game. 14 of 26 for 369. 300 yards in the second half. The Dragons lead it 31-27. And that pass to Matt Brown, that 67-yarder, came basically against a prevent defense.
Well, he had time to throw, and our athletes went out and made plays. He got behind the defender. He's able to run away from him. You know, they had the angle on him, was able to knock him out at the 2. The offensive line would not be denied on that touchdown run. And now you just got to tackle here. You just got to tackle here.
Well, we said it would take a miracle,
and
the Dragons found it. They took the ball over. They were facing second and forever from their own 21-yard line. 3 plays later, it's in the end zone. Darren Johnson to kick it off. And it will be a line drive kick. Bounces through the return man. He picks it up at the 13. Bounces outside, breaks a tackle, breaks another down at the 20-yard line.
The ball was loose.
And so
just briefly it was loose.
10 seconds to go. It was Grant Roberts on the return, and he was doing everything he could to try to find some daylight. 10 seconds left. Franklin has 1 timeout. They basically have time for 2 plays at their own 20-yard line. The guy you got to watch for is Max Lancer. He's got 2 catches for 88 yards.
We better play back on. Yeah, coach is trying to back him up, I think. Well,
yeah, and let's see. And so the Dragons, they've got their corners played about 15 yards off the ball. Trips right. Roberts back to throw. Under pressure.
Sack.
He is going to be sacked inside the 10-yard line. Franklin will use its timeout with 3 seconds to go. Hunter Burks with the sack of the 15-yard line. And so the Dragons with 3 seconds left now have 1 play separating them from an incredible, improbable sectional victory. What a comeback, Mike.
It's almost reminiscent of the state title game against Snyder. We come out down, 27, I think it was, at half. Yeah. And play that daggone pinball game that it was. But hopefully we end up knocking that dude down.
It deep, picked off by Jack Johnson. Who else to finish this game? Jack Johnson with the interception, and the Dragons pull off a miracle tonight.
Just happened?
They trailed it 27-3 late in the third quarter. They come back. They score 4 touchdowns in the game's final 13 minutes, and they knock off the Franklin Grizzly Cubs tonight, 31-27. An unbelievable comeback for the New Palestine Dragons. They advance to face the Whiteland Warriors next week at Whiteland in the sectional championship game. What a game. It will take a lot to decipher this one. Just an incredible comeback by this New Palestine team, and the Franklin Grizzly Cubs had a victory in their pocket, and you just see their body language. What just happened?
Exactly.
You can just see.
It's like deer in the headlights, shaking your head. This is one. I feel sorry for the seniors on that squad. I mean, you know how we went out. You remember how that game finished, and what happened? It's just unbelievable. Lincoln Roth was finally given plenty of time, and he was able to find Austin and Brownie, and they came up with big plays, and they got some stops, and what an absolute unreal finish to this first round sectional game for the Dragons.
So the Dragons,
oh my gosh,
to a sectional championship game for the 4th consecutive year. Dragons win it tonight 31-27 over the Franklin Grizzly Cubs in an incredible football game, an incredible comeback. The Dragons score 4 touchdowns in the final 12 minutes and 59 seconds of this game, 2 in the final 2.5 minutes. And so the Dragons victorious 31-27 over the Franklin Grizzly Cubs in one of the wildest football games that you will witness. And what a comeback. What a finish. What a victory for this Dragon football team tonight.
I'm at a loss.
We're going to catch
We've said that a lot about this Coach Ralph football teams, but I mean, they were down. They looked absolutely just had no gas, had no heart, just were not doing a thing to take any kind of charge in this ball game. And we get a break, we get a turnover, or we get a little bit of a turn, we get a score. Okay, we miss a 2-point conversion. Dang it. Okay, we're still down 2 scores. Get a stop, get a big play. Finally, those big explosive plays turn things around. Those big explosive plays that we were missing in the first half. You know, the bomb to Brownie, the bomb to Austin. And next thing you know, these guys have got some spunk and they got some fire, and great things happen when you play with heart and enthusiasm. You know, it just amazing things happen.
And so the Dragons win it tonight, 31-27 over the Franklin Grizzly Cubs. New Palestine moves to 8-1 on the season. They'll play Whiteland for the sectional championship next week. Franklin finishes the year at 3-6. The D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care postgame show will commence momentarily. This is Dragon Football on newpalradio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habig, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on our Harbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
This is Dragon Football on newpalradio.com.
It's a happy D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care postgame show. What an improbable victory by this Dragon football team. They win at 31-27 over the Franklin Grizzly Cubs after trailing 27-3 late in the third quarter. Scoring summary, Franklin took a 6-0 lead on a 57-yard pass from Reed Roberts to Max Lancer, 6:41 in the second quarter. The extra point was blocked. They made it 14-0 with 1:29 to go in the second after a 1-yard touchdown run by John Shepard. He set that up with a 45-yard run. The 2-point conversion was good. 14-0, and then it was 14-3 as Brendan Tanksley drilled a 30-yard field goal right before halftime. Franklin scored the first 14 points of the second half. A 17-yard touchdown pass from Roberts to Isaiah Klein at 6:10 made it 20-3. And then at 2:44, a fumble recovered by Greg Houston. He ran it back the final 6 yards. Made it 27-3 with 2:44 to go in the third quarter, and things looked bleak for the Dragons. Well, they went down, scored a big play, a big pass play to Blake Austin, set up Lincoln Roth for a 9-yard touchdown run with 59 seconds to go in the third, made it 27-11 after the 2-point conversion was good. Then at 8:30 in the fourth quarter, Roth, a 69-yard pass to Austin. The 2-point conversion was no good, made it 27-17. Then things got really wild. The Dragons able to force they forced a punt, took over at their own 18-yard line. 2 long passes to Blake Austin from 37 and 33, set up Grayson Thomas for a 2-yard run with 2:33 to go. Made it 27-14. The Dragons were able to hold Franklin on downs, took over with 54 seconds to go. And on the second play, they got a sack. They were facing third down and very long, 3rd and 21 from their own 30. And Lincoln Roth hit Matt Brown for a 68-yard pass to the 2-yard line against a prevent defense, mind you. And then Grayson Thomas punched it in on the next play to give the Dragons a 31-27 victory. The Dragons scored 20 points in the final 8.5 minutes of this game, 14 in the final 2:33. The numbers, you wonder how this game was so close because the Dragons outgained Franklin 461-224. Dragons with 92 on the ground, 360, make that 370 through the air. Okay. So 462 yards on 70 plays. Franklin with 119 on the ground, 105 through the air. The Dragons finished the night with 16 first downs, the Grizzly Cubs with 11. New Palestine turned it over once. Franklin also turned it over once. Franklin had 4 penalties for 25 yards. The Dragons with 8 penalties for 73 yards. Tonight, Lincoln Roth, 14 of 26, a career-high 370 yards. That is the second highest passing total in school history. And of those, 7 passes and 230 yards to Blake Austin. That is the second highest receiving game in school history. The only ones that were higher were the Alex Neely to Duke Blackwell show back in 2015 against Fort Wayne Snyder. Another great comeback in Dragon history. That one, of course, unfortunately fell just a little bit short. But Austin, 7 catches for 230 yards. Matt Brown had 4 catches for 93 yards, including that 68-yarder. And then Damon Hockett had 3 catches for 18. Running the ball, Grayson Thomas, 25 carries for 91 yards. Lincoln Roth, 19 carries for 1 yard. He was sacked 7 times. For the Grizzly Cubs, they were led by John Shepard, 15 carries for 89 yards and a touchdown. Also, the running back Jalen Ward had 15 carries for 34 yards. Quarterback Reed Roberts, 12 carries for -4 yards. He was sacked 4 times by Noah Mack. who had a whale of a football
game.
And then throwing the ball, Roberts was 3 for 10 for 105 yards, a pair of touchdowns. He was picked off once. Max Lancer, a 57-yarder. Max Lancer had 2 catches for 88, and Isaiah Klein had 1 catch for 17. So the Dragons move on to take on the Whiteland Warriors next week. Whiteland defeated Seymour tonight 66-0.
Ooh.
And so
Dragons got that to look forward to.
And it'll be at Whiteland next week. Take a look at some of the other scores in 5A. Cathedral over Terre Haute South 57-18. They will play either Plainfield or Decatur Central next week. We have not seen a score on that. Let's see if we can get an updated score on Decatur Central leads 49-37 with 5:51 to go. Now, we know we just experienced 5:51 is a lot of time in a football game. The Dragons did a little bit in the last 6 minutes of this one. Also tonight, Castle beat Bloomington South 28-0. Jeffersonville over Floyd Central 35-28 in Class 5A. Mishawaka over Goshen 45-6. Fort Wayne North over Northrop 42-21. Dwenger over Anderson 42-6. Zionsville over number 7 Harrison 33-21. McCutcheon over Kokomo 24-7 in Sectional 12. In the conference tonight, Delta, I have not seen an updated score on Delta in a while. 35-18, they led Fort Wayne after 3. We'll see if that one has gone final, but Delta looks like they will likely move on. Newcastle, Connorsville playing tonight. Winner of that game will play Mount Vernon. The Marauders knock off Pendleton Heights tonight, 32-7. So the
I can't help myself.
Yeah, we're just trying to process what just happened. And the D&D Strictly Storage Best in Sight Family Eye Care post-game show will continue as we await the arrival of Coach Ralph, who is talking to a lot of media field side. Newcastle leads Connorsville 27-7 in the fourth quarter, so it looks like Newcastle will play Mount Vernon next week. Elsewhere in the conference tonight, Yorktown fell to Brebeuf 35-13. So, and the head coach of the Dragons, Kyle Ralph, has joined us, and a happy, relieved, I'm not sure what the, probably all of those things, but Coach.
Don't check my pulse. My doctor would put me on bed rest for a month.
One thing we've said about this team, over the 8 years you've been here, you don't quit. And, these guys just continue to fight and find a way. And you're down 27-3 late in the third quarter, and you dug down, you dug deep, and you found a way to win this football game with Lincoln Roth shaking off a number of sacks to find Blake Austin for some big pass plays, and then obviously the late one to Matt Brown as well. But the Red Rage also stepping up and really dominating the second half.
Oh, gosh. I don't have a whole lot of voice left here. I'm going to do my absolute best.
Neither do we.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, my blood pressure at different points of the game, good and bad, was at dangerously high levels, I think. But, I told the boys there at the break, I'm going to be very honest with them about two things. One, it is hands down one of my proudest moments as the coach of this program, because what I told them at halftime is one of the fundamental principles of our program, and that we don't quit. There is no quit. We train you to not quit. Our all-season program is driven to push them beyond their limits to find out who's committed and who's going to quit and be a quitter and not be a part of this program. We do a lot of different training exercises where they don't have options, that you have to fight until you essentially can give no more. And I think that tonight was one of the all-time great examples in my time here of a group of young men really against all the odds. I know the math on it. When you're down 3 scores going into the fourth quarter, you've got about a 4% chance to win a game, because at halftime it's about 97% if you're up by 3 or more scores. At the end of the third, it goes to about 96, 97%. So you got about 3 or 4%. It goes up by about 1%. So when you're staring at that, especially the way we have been playing, it's really easy to just allow the mentality of this is over, it's our last game, were done to start creeping into your head, and our guys just kept fighting and clawing. Quite frankly, we just started drawing up some offensive plays in the dirt because what we were doing was not getting protected, and I could move Blake to some spots to get him open in different scenarios and legitimately just started drawing plays up like backyard football in the dirt, and the boys executed it tremendously well. We got the ball to our explosive playmakers. It is one of the proudest moments that I've ever had of our kids in this program. But the other thing I told them is we played really poorly tonight. And the odds of winning that game, that doesn't happen. That may never happen again. I could coach for 50 years, and that type of a comeback might never happen again. We did not play well, and we need to play exceptionally better. But as I've mentioned a bunch of times, the one thing this team has is a lot of grit. They have gone through as much adversity as any group I have ever been a part of in coaching in any sport ever. That includes upward basketball for youth kids all the way to high school football. I mean, I have never seen a group of kids go through the amount of adversity these kids have gone through, between us losing a couple kids to quarantine tonight on special teams that really hurt us, losing our three-year starting guard that's committed to Air Force on a Tuesday practice with 10 minutes left in practice, losing him, shuffling guys around. The injuries we've already got of the guys staying on the sidelines that aren't going to be able to play for the rest of the season. I mean, the amount of things that we've gone through to get here, there's just nothing else to say about those kids and just the grit that they have to just continue to fight and claw and play and work to find a way to survive. And we did. And right now, that's what's most important. We'll correct the mistakes. We'll try to get better. But we are going to play another week of football, and a lot of teams can't say that right now. So I'm very, very proud of them for that.
Well, when the chips are down, you need your best players to be your best players. And Blake Austin had, next to Duke's performance in the state finals, probably the biggest receiving game that has ever been had. In terms of yardage, it is the second biggest receiving game and the second biggest passing game as well for Lincoln, who threw for 300 yards in the second half. But Matt Brown against essentially a prevent defense going for 68 yards down the sideline. And what a throw, what a catch, and what a run by Matt Brown.
He's fast.
Yeah.
Big boy can run. Yeah, the big boy can run.
But those guys that have really been cornerstones of this program for a number of years, tonight when you needed them to step up, they did.
Yeah, it's three seniors. It's three guys that have gone through a lot, played a lot of football for us. Blake is such a tremendous, tremendous player and athlete. The fact that he doesn't have more scholarship offers is literally sinful. And he shows you what he can do tonight. I mean, first of all, not only did he have 200-something yards receiving out there tonight on offense and really is the focal point of our offense, period, just a general statement, but he was open a ton more when we couldn't get him the ball because we were getting sacked or pressured or hit. Mm-hmm. He probably would have had 400 receiving, honestly, if we could have just gotten the ball out of Lincoln's hands a couple of times. But, for him to come out there and do that on offense, but what a lot of people don't realize is that he went out there and played defense almost the entire night from the first quarter on, and that was not part of the plan. He's been rotational in practice on defense as a backup as needed. But he went out there and didn't come off the field then. And those are the things that you're looking for in your kids, where when I say I'm proud, I'm excited that he had a great night and he had all the yards. I don't really care about those things. It's a contribution to the team win. That's wonderful. What I care about is that a kid that's a senior on his potential last game stepped up and did what our program needed to win and did not bat an eye about it at all. He just did what he was told to do. And he played over 120 snaps tonight, and that was that. Matt went at the last second to go rush on defense, and it's just what you expect.
Mm-hmm. And you look at another guy and a kid who yesterday made a commitment to play college baseball at St. Francis. But
yeah, very proud of Noah.
Noah Mack, 4 sacks tonight.
Huge night.
And the thing, we'll look at the offense of the comeback. That does not happen if the Red Rage does not do what they did in the second half and really take over this football game.
Yeah, really buckled down. Noah, again, another guy playing both ways. 4-year starter for us. Undersized lineman. He's been an undersized lineman his whole career. Just committed to go play college baseball on scholarship yesterday. Super proud of him for that. multi-sport athlete, which is wonderful. And here he is, again, not coming off the field, having an unbelievable night on defense. And just, for a captain, that's what you expect, though. I mean, those are the things that you need your captains to do in these moments is play big and lead your team, keep the energy up, keep those young guys up and positive and moving. And again, just so proud of guys like that. Was it the cleanest game ever? No. Did he probably make some mistakes? I'm sure he did. But he made big plays, and he led our team the way that captains and seniors are supposed to lead our team. So that's what you need. It's tournament time. Those are the type of performances that you have to have.
Well, you've earned an opportunity to practice one more week, and now you get a chance to take on Whiteland next week and play for a championship and your fourth straight year playing for a sectional title.
Yeah, I know that we've said this a lot, and I got asked this down there on the field, to think the way that, this season began, to think that we'd even get this season off, period. I know I've said this before, is amazing that we've gotten this far in the tournament just as a statewide association. That we have made it this far is absolutely fantastic. Losing those back-to-back classes that got us to the top of the mountain 2 times in a row, I think a lot of people thought this was the year that, look, we can all get them. Our conference was very senior heavy. We played a really good Brebeuf team to start the year off. We had our first game of the year canceled because of quarantine issues. We've had God knows how many injuries this season that have taken some great players out of our program and ended their season, and for some of them ended their careers. And to think, honestly, as we've gone through this, that we would be competing for a sectional championship again in 5A, a division above where we're supposed to be, with the roster size we have. And we dressed like, my goodness, like 41 kids tonight maybe. I mean, with the roster size that we've got, the injuries that we've had, the way the season has just been an absolute battle up and down, to think that we're going to have a chance to go out there and potentially bring home some hardware is incredible. I mean, all things considered, the fact that we're still playing, period, and the fact that we've made it to this point with the adversity this season has given us, again, I cannot say enough about what that means to our kids, our program. I would certainly think our community, the school. I got asked the question, what does it say about Dragon football? I mean, I think it says that you can't beat culture and you can't beat a program. We may not have the same names and the same uniforms that we've had in some previous years, and the product maybe doesn't look the same on Friday nights, but it's still Dragon football, and you're going to have to beat us, because our kids are going to show up and give the best they've got. Whatever that is, they're going to give the best that they've got, and that's all you can ask for. Culture is the most important thing in athletics, and we've got that in spades. So we're going to compete for another sectional title and see what we can do against a really, really good Whiteland team.
Well, congratulations on the victory. Enjoy this one, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
It's New Palestine head football coach Kyle Ralph.
I'm going to go take an ice bath or something.
After the Dragons come from behind, 31-27 victory over the Franklin Grizzly Cubs. Sectional championship game next week at Whiteland. We'll be on the air at 6. Kickoff at 7 o'clock from Whiteland High School. And so that'll do it for us tonight. For Mike Jackson, I'm Andrew Smith. The Dragons win it 31-27 to the Franklin Grizzly Cubs. This has been Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com, presented by All-Star Turf Management.
Thank you for listening to Dragon Football on NewPalRadio.com. Tonight's game was brought to you by All-Star Turf Management, D&D Strictly Storage, Best in Sight Family Eye Care, PorkVet Solutions, Real Life Church, Catch the Shot Photography, Gator Grip, and the Hoosier Huddle. Thanks for listening. Keep logging on to NewPalRadio.com for more exciting Dragon action.